What is up, guys? Welcome to the Nickatina Show. We have a great show lined up today. We have guests lined up. We have Taylor Murphy from The Cultured Nerd. We have Steve Kasan, who is I was going to say adult filmmaker. That's not the right way to say that. He is an independent filmmaker and actor as well. So he is here, and he is a super cool guy. I love the fact that I'm able to get him on my show because I've been waiting to give him a lot of heat for being a Raptors fan. Come on, Raptors. The only reason why they won is because Kevin Durant was hurt. You know that, right?
Yeah, and Kevin Durant left too.
Anyway, we're gonna come back to that later. But first off, we have a special host today, a special co-host for the show. Not him. My special co-host today will be none other than the wonderful, the beautiful, all the way from the UK, Mrs. Jessica Blake. What's going on?
I'm fine.
Yeah?
It's going to be a good show.
Oh, I think so. And thank you for staying up. I know it's super late over there. It's like 2:30
at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate it. I mean, you're a trooper for doing that. And man, I know if it was the other way around, I would have I don't know. I would have had to be paid off or something. No, I would have done it for you as well. I would have. So without further ado, let's bring back our other guests. We have none other than Steve Kasan. What's going on, man? Yes, thumbs up.
Also an adult film star too.
Yes,
going my hero, John. Going with my hero, Peter North. You know.
And then we also have Ryan. At this point now, he's just known as Ryan Zeverfett, and here he is right here. What's going on, man? You're muted right now. It's that microphone of yours. Hi.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on?
Hey,
so we're not talking about our adult film experiences.
No, not today.
Not yet.
For the midnight show.
Because I used to be known as Dirk Diggler.
Oh, that's a good one. So we got Cisco.
Well, you're the
chat.
only Ryan that matters.
Cool.
Yeah.
Concha is always here. Is also here. We got Gavin Cooley in the chat. What's up, Gavin? We have Zeverfett in the chat.
Hey, what's up, man? It's good to see you. God, that guy's everywhere.
Fat Dan will also be here. He has a really cool idea of what if Ben Affleck directed Henry Cavill's second Superman solo movie. That's an interesting idea I'd never heard of. I don't know. Possibly.
That'd be interesting.
It'd be interesting.
I'd be down.
We have Dawson from Nerdy in Many Ways.
I think he's quite busy at the moment. But
yeah.
Yeah.
The lurker fails again. We got Anthony from the ACS universe in the chat. What's up, Anthony? And guys, just for Anthony, let's see the fire emojis. Just
man, he came out with some fire shirts yesterday.
Oh,
that his wife made.
Those are fire.
I mean, now you know who has the talent in the family. That's awesome. That's so awesome.
Yeah, those shirts are gorgeous.
Bro, is that Ryan from Zeverfett? It is.
In the flesh.
And guys, let me also welcome our special guest of the night, which Steve is also a special guest, so don't get me wrong, Steve. Oh, there we go. There's some flames. Let me welcome Taylor Murphy from The Cultured Nerd. What's up, Taylor?
Hello.
Hey, what's going on, man?
How y'all doing?
Good. We got all the flames going now. The fire rises. There we go.
A lot. Look at that.
Wow.
Gavin Cooley's laying it down. Here's Brian, Master of None. Oh, the Master of None.
Yes, exactly. Capitals.
We got Jesse Allen. He's in here too. El Capodicium saying best take. Ryan, really? He's still gonna stick to that. He still is.
It's the best.
It's the best.
Great take.
Siempre the best.
So Taylor, thank you so much for joining us. Having you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. It's such a treat to have you on here. But now that you're here, we're gonna jump right into the meat and potatoes of all this.
Okay.
The return of Superman. So just the other day, the Culture Nerd released an article or put out an article saying that he has signed a new contract. Can you go into any details about what the article stated about his new contract?
Yeah, of course. There's two of us. So my buddy Josh, who runs DCU News Instagram account. I think he's got like 125,000 followers, like just a big fan account. But he actually, he and I used to actually work together at a former outlet, and he was like the big motivating factor to push me back to relaunch the Culture Nerd after all those years. He was really good about it. He actually he had his own site, and when he decided to close shop, he actually basically had all of his staff laterally transfer to my team. So we like immediately launched with like a big group of people because he was just 100% down with it. He and I, we have our own sources, different areas, and we just been kind of keeping our ear to the ground with everything going on. And he, I think, was the only person I had talked to for the last year that their sources told them the same thing mine were, that the Snyder Cut was coming. And he was very much on the same line, like, okay, Zach's having his Man of Steel watch party. He's going to announce it then. And I'm like, I heard the same thing. And then the day it happened, we're both like, hell yeah, we validation on our sources. Good for them. So we've been like following all those, what they've been telling us. And like, you have these little rumbles here and there where people are like, oh, Henry's coming back for cameos. He's coming back for cameos. And then we heard nothing for like months. And I'd been talking to him, and we both kind of heard the same thing, that he was holding out for something bigger, not just cameos. He didn't want to announce like a contract with just cameos because that's not what he wanted. He didn't want to be like the Nick Fury of DC. He wanted to be Superman. So we had both kind of keeping our ears to the ground, talking to people, and we had heard he put out a pitch for a new set of movies. And the initial pitch was like I have an idea for one movie. And then the pitch like grew, and he's like, no, it's 2 movies. Then maybe it now could be 3 movies. It's probably a trilogy at this point. So like he kept pitching, and it got bigger and bigger. And we heard that they loved the pitch, and the pitch involved like Lex Luthor, involved Brainiac. It had this whole like ancient Kryptonian like vibe to it. And it was like set after the Snyder Cut. It was set to be like where Superman ends up after everything. And one of my sources like texted me at 3 a.m. and said, hey, they love the pitch. He signed. And I texted Josh afterwards. I'm like, hey, did you hear the same thing? He's like, give me 20 minutes. And he called a bunch of his people, and they said, yeah, he signed. And then they told him a different number than what I told. I was told he signed for 3 plus cameos, and they told him it's more like 5 or 6 plus cameos. So the number is pretty significant. But either way,
I'm happy with just one.
Yeah. The overlap was at least 3. That's what we both overlapped. Was there was 3 that were being talked about, and cameos were the plan. And honestly, it sounds like he's going to be Superman until he's like 50. So that's what it sounds like is going to happen. So I'm all for it.
It will be the Kingdom Come Superman. The next round of contracts.
Yeah, by the time they finish all that, they're like, you want to come back? He's like, I'm ready for that Kingdom Come movie. Let's do this. So,
wow, that is awesome. Oh, Fatal J's in the chat. Smash that like button, everybody.
Now, he had an interesting article that he was into today.
Yes, he did. I don't know, Taylor, if you know anything about that. Yeah. Fatal J dropped a pretty significant scoop. Ryan, why don't you go ahead and let us know what that was?
It was about Jim Carrey taking the torch from Joaquin Phoenix to continue that narrative.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting.
Although I couldn't tell what site it came from.
He clipped that off.
No one knows. I don't know where he got it from. Interesting nonetheless, but I don't know where he got it from. So I don't know, Fatal, if you want to add some comments to that. Oh, it looks like he's disappeared. He's here somewhere.
Ninja vanished.
Brought it up and he ran away.
So Taylor, I mean, this information sounds amazing. I mean, 5 to 6 films with Henry Cavill as Superman. I mean, that's incredible. That's exactly what all of us wanted for so long. Yeah. And you know, the one question I have though is that why haven't the trades reported it? Why is it that there has been this kind of almost like a backlash of like, no, you know, people trying to prove that wrong?
So I think what it comes down to me is that there's always been kind of this like internal civil war kind of a thing going on within WB about the concept of DC. AT&T and Warner Media have their idea. They're like, we want to do HBO. We want to like just go nuts with it. They basically greenlit the Snyder Cut without Warner Brothers knowing about it. Like they don't care what Warner Brothers does at this point because Warner Brothers mishandled it. And I talked to one of my buddies who at Warner Brothers, he basically told me that nobody over there knows about it. And I'm like, so why would they sign Cavill? Why am I hearing this from like 5 different people who are not inside the WB ecosystem? And then WB ecosystem has no idea. And I think it's honestly because they're trying to keep WB out of the loop because the people that are still part of the problem are still there. So they're trying not to let them in on the loop.
And then also, don't they have their own timetable as far as like when they want to decide to release it? Just because somebody comes out with the story doesn't mean they're like, oh well, we got to fast track our timetable in order to match up with that or to give validity to the people that did drop the scoop. So yeah, they'll release it in time, and they're when they and they're choosing their hand has been forced before with like the releasing of the Ben Affleck news for him to be in the Flash movie, but they haven't said anything about any other project with him. They've just said, hey, he's just going to be there for that one so far.
Yeah,
great take, Ryan. Great take.
Thank you.
Okay, Steve has a question.
But now, but Taylor, I guess now will be a good time. Like, explain to all of us what is the power structure at AT&T, Warner Media, and WB. So I think you would be the best person to like answer this question.
Yeah,
not Ryan.
Kill the humanoids.
I'll feel that.
So essentially, Warner Brothers used to be the top dog for the longest time, for like almost like 100 years. They were like, we're the top. And then AT&T came in and pretty much bought them, and they're like, I'm the captain now. So AT&T is the top, and now Warner Brothers is like right underneath them, but Warner Media is still above Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers, their Time Warner Media, I think it was, that was restructured into Warner Media, and they actually put HBO and Warner Max, their production company for HBO, at the same level as Warner Brothers, which is kind of insane. That they made this whole new production company and put them on the same pedestal as Warner Brothers. So there is definitely an internal power struggle for these people who are so used to being at the top, who are now having peers, and that's kind of insane for them. Which is like why you'd have all the trades. Like the trades, most of their contacts are in Warner Brothers. So when Warner Brothers doesn't know about something, that doesn't mean it's not factual. That just means that they're not told anymore. So, I mean, the trades were running for like up until the day before the Snyder Cut. They're like, it's not coming. But yet Warner Media had commissioned already promotional artwork for the Snyder Cut for Zach to show off on the announcement. Like they'd been working on that for at least 6 months, and Warner Brothers had no idea. So it's kind of a weird situation because now you have Warner Brothers conducting their own investigations against Ray, which are making them look even worse. Now Warner Media has come in and said, we're just going to clean house. We're going to mess some stuff up. So you got a lot of stuff that's going to change in the next few months. And I think the trades are going to be the last one to find out as this stuff starts happening.
Sorry, buddy.
There we have it, humanoids.
I know. His little blaster fell off. Sorry, buddy. Don't shoot me, all right?
But it's good that we know how hierarchy works now. It's like,
yeah,
and there you have it.
Yeah, I mean,
I put out a little graphic a couple weeks ago about just Warner Media and Warner Brothers not being the same company, and because people just a lot of people that don't really pay attention to this stuff is just like dismissive of the information, and that just like I don't really care to know. But a lot of people are very visual in sort of it can't be in an article. It has to be something that's visual for them to kind of grasp it, get that 2 seconds in for them to just take that information and process it and move on with their day. So.
Yeah. No, I was honestly thinking about all week just making like just a chart, like just be like, this is it. Here you go, people.
Yeah, a hierarchy sort of table.
Yeah,
would be amazing.
Like a family tree, but like in reverse.
With respective logos and all that, just so you can, when you see the logo and match it up with the name of the company, you're like, okay, so this is directly under AT&T, and this is under Warner Max. That's where HBO Max falls, or Warner Brothers, and then underneath that is Warner Brothers Pictures, or and then same thing with the music, Warner Media or Warner Music, they have so many. It's the umbrella is AT&T, and everybody else sort of has. It's just an ecosystem, like you were saying earlier. So it's just nobody knows kind of how that looks.
It's kind of like in it's kind of like in a casino, right? It's like you got the main bosses, but then you got De Niro over in Las Vegas. He's running his thing, but then it's like, what's De Niro doing in Vegas? I don't know. Well, they send in Joe Pesci over to see what's going on, but then Joe Pesci's doing his thing too. And then you got all these things, but everyone's got to head to the bosses. So who is the boss? Who is the main figurehead? Is it Jason? Is it you, Taylor?
No, I think Jason is pretty close to the top. I believe. I mean, he's the only one he answers to is AT&T, I believe, and their board of directors. So he's kind of like the buck stops with him kind of position. But it's very interesting just because I had a train of thought and I lost it. I'll come back to it in a second.
The train of thought is that Jason is buddies with Taylor. So if you go after Taylor, you went to the guillotine. Okay? Don't become my man too, huh?
That would be pretty cool. Jason seems like a very nice guy. And I honestly loved how his press release basically was like, hey, I don't like where this is going. We're going to fix this. And he basically was like very passive aggressively saying he's going to just fire everybody. So it's kind of an amazing, amazing press release.
And the fact that they put that out there, it just kind of tells you that they're going to start going through all. Well, I would hope at least that they're going to start going through all the different areas of the studio and sort of cleaning house and getting rid of that type of environment all the way through.
I mean, Ray Fisher recently retweeted it, didn't he? So saying progress. So
exactly.
It's good times ahead, I guess.
So some of these guys better get ready because there's going to be an investigator coming their way. And he's going to want to ask. He's going to be asking them questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. And I want to have them answered immediately.
It's going to be just like that,
Daddy.
Who's your daddy? What does he do?
I
love that so much.
I can't say this on a nerdy show, but boys have a penis and girls have a vagina.
Oh, hey, this is a nerdy show. He'd be like, "Okay, so we're going to move on now." And
right?
We don't have that poo poo caca talk.
Yeah, no poo poo caca talk. It's not good. We're losing viewers.
That's funny.
Taylor, the other question that I want to ask you was, the other day when you were on with Matt on Lightcast, you made a comment towards the very end of the broadcast, and it was something that you started talking about, and I literally like shit my pants when I heard this. And you talked about
stuff?
No,
because that was like a big one for a lot of people. I don't know why no one caught on earlier, but
with the Robin stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Reeves' whole his whole art direction for the Batman movie is based on Jeff Loeb's amazing retelling of Robin's origin story. So people are like, "There's not going to be any Robin in this." I'm like, why would he go out of his way to choose that book to take inspiration from and not use Robin in some way? Come on, guys. It's like.
So you think Robin will be introduced in Matt Reeves?
Not in the first one. I was told that he's going to pop up in the trilogy, and we're also going to see Barbara in the trilogy too.
Yeah, that would make more sense. In the first movie, I don't think so. But in the next one or the one after, I definitely
Black Barbara Gordon. That's cool.
Well, Barbara is adopted in Jeff Loeb's books, so
there you go.
He doesn't have to actually do that.
Nerdy, this is not happy chat.
They could to change it, maybe.
They could definitely change it.
I mean, especially if we're getting a Barbara Gordon in Titans and hopefully in Batgirl, that could be an interesting way of changing it up. But
what's up, Intruder? So, what is that noise in the backgroround?
I hear someone's watching Fresh Prince.
Oh yeah.
He's all not even like I hear I am, my bad. He's like, yeah, I am. What of it?
Yeah. That's me.
So another thing that I was going to talk about was you had brought this up, and what's that?
I said Uncle Phil.
Yeah. And what you had brought up was the topic of a director's cut of Man of Steel.
Right. So a lot of people are asking me about that. So Zach, I think himself has said there's no director's cut of Man of Steel because he put out the movie he wanted to put out, but the movie that essentially I was referring to was his like 4.5 hour long work print that he initially showed them.
And
It was
assembly.
ridiculously long. It was like an hour of it was just in Krypton. Like that first 20 minutes was an hour long.
Yeah.
And there was even like in David Goyer's original script, there's a whole subplot line where his mother Laura sent off Jor-El's battle armor into space to have Superman pick it up so he could use it if Zod ever found him. And like there was all this stuff about that, and then like in the final battle, he actually wore the suit, fought him, and then they had this big like air fight, and he's in like the armor. He gets the crap kicked out of him, and flies into a church, and then descends out of the church's steps. The first time you see him in the full suit, and that was like it's supposed to be like very religious moment where like all the people are just watching him come out of this church, and they were like, "That's too on the nose," so they cut that pretty quick. But there was a lot more of just Superman's religious symbolism that was just gutted because I mean I don't know. I mean the movie was ridiculously long. The pitch was huge. But from my understanding, Zach had like a 4 hour plus long movie that he had showed them, and they said, no, cut it down, like take 2 hours out of it. And he's like, okay. And then that cut still exists somewhere.
Yeah. I again, same thing this week. I posted, released the original MOS and released the Wonder Woman that has the different third act.
Yeah.
Something different, something better. But of course, I don't think they want to keep going back to the vault. Even now we're getting the Snyder and the Ayer, and you never know. You never know.
HBO is like, what are they? I think they announced that HBO Max is dropping like an exclusive extended cut of Casino Royale. Like, to me, right? Like, it's like 8 minutes longer, and I'm like,
yeah. Well, and that cut, he dropped the paddles a couple more times.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and then she had to shock him more than once.
Yeah. Insert shots of what the effect is and all that.
Yeah,
and they hit him in the ball sack a couple more in the in that it was a shipyard.
The torture scene, they cut out the seat and they tortured him. No, honestly,
so at the end of the scene, his balls were like as big as his skull.
They're like cantaloupes hanging off of him. No, honestly, one of my biggest gripes of all movies is the defibrillator usage. I mean, I work for a hospital, so I see like how wrong movies and TV are with it. If you shock somebody, you say clear, and you shock them. And if their heart is already stopped, if they have no arrhythmia, you're just shocking a cadaver at that point. There's nothing happening. Like, you shock the heart when it's going irregular. You shock it to get normalcy. You have to use CPR to get the heartbeat back. So every time they flatline and say clear, I'm like, bullshit. There it is. Okay, that's wrong. So that's one of my biggest peeves.
Yeah, well, it's similar to when, like, in the movies when they go, hey, someone's calling, and the police are like, we're going to trace the call. And they're like, keep them on the line. Apparently, when they trace the call, it goes like instantaneously. Like, all right, we got it.
It's like right then. They're like, oh, we got him.
30 seconds,
It's like, oh, the phone rang.
Keep them talking.
Yeah. They already know.
Keep them talking.
Or the same thing, like when you shoot a gun and you think you can evade the bullets.
Yeah, no.
Because it's so instantaneous.
Unless someone's using like an old musket, you could avoid a musket, but that's about it. Like, muskets were slow.
It's instantaneous. Yeah, I don't know about dodging a bullet, but
I love that movie Wanted for that. Like, let's curve the bullet. I'm like, yes.
Yeah. I'm just gonna whip the gun and the bullet's gonna curve.
Just
imagine that movie, but with the physics working correctly.
They're just shooting walls.
No, then it would suck.
Oh!
I broke a window again. There it is.
Everybody get down!
This guy sucks.
He's waving a gun around. He's firing.
I've been shot like 3 times.
Yeah, but back to the Man of Steel stuff. We segued really hard there.
We did.
About like a year ago, I heard that HBO was really big on this idea of getting content that they never had to share or lose. So they wanted to be like, let's release alternate cuts that we can keep forever. Like, that's just ours. And that's where the initial talks that I heard about the Snyder Cut coming in. They were talking about, what if we released a director's cut of Man of Steel and the Snyder Cut and just did that at the same time? And they talked about it. They pitched it, and we're getting the Snyder Cut now, so I'm not sure if the other conversations for Man of Steel went any further, but they had wanted it at one point. So that was something they definitely were talking about it like a year ago. So
which studio has this deal?
Well, honestly, it's kind of an interesting thing because for the longest time, everyone had to ask like proper Warner Brothers for permission to use things. Like, oh, you own this, so can we use Batman in our show? Oh, you can't. There's the Batman embargo. Like they had all this nonsense, but because AT&T took over, they're kind of just like everyone can use everything because they're all under the same house.
Yeah,
that's why Warner Brothers was able to have. They had no idea that HBO was doing the Snyder Cut because they just did it. They didn't need to ask permission because they asked the boss and the boss said yes. It's like you have two kids and one kid thinks that they have everything, then the other kid just gets it and then like because mom gave it to him and didn't tell the other kid.
Right.
So that's kind of like at this point, yes, it belongs to Warner Brothers because they made it, but AT&T owns them and they can use it however they want. So they could just pass it to another kid if they wanted.
When the bosses tell Joe Pesci, "Go take over Vegas," hey, what's De Niro gonna say? Oh, hey, you know.
Well, there's gonna be a little turf war, but that's not
thing.
gonna be much.
Not gonna be a turf war, but might use the pen. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it enables creativity, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does. It sure does because they were hindered.
There's no
like you couldn't have Batman in the CW, right? They could talk about him, but they could never actually show him. That's why they went with Batwoman instead. Or that's why they went with Arrow and made Arrow their version of Batman, basically.
Ruby Rose.
What?
Ruby Rose. Batwoman?
Yes. Now it's a different lady, and hopefully she's going to be better with better writers.
I'm excited for Javicia. I think she looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope the writers do a good job. I don't know. But.
It's all on the writers. The writers have to come up with a compelling story because if the story's not there, then the audience isn't going to be there either. Yeah. Hence, that's why Supergirl is ending their season 6.
It's over. Yeah.
Season 1 of Supergirl was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought season 1 was good. I actually like season 1. That's a lot of those shows though. Like they always have a good season 1,
right?
Or like even Flash a good season 2. Yeah, and then after that, it's just like.
What do we do?
Well, you know what it is?
It's not like we have any source material.
Yeah. Well, they're too long. The seasons are way too long. Yeah, when you have like a 20 episode season, you have too many BS episodes as fillers.
Yeah.
That's
all for syndication, right? Or does syndication still play around these days with streaming and everything?
True.
They still try to get to 10 seasons.
Yeah,
but no, he's true though. Like syndication used to be a big thing, is because you wanted all these episodes so that when it goes into syndication, you had a ton of episodes to play from its library. But now, I don't know. I mean, I tend to like a shorter series. If you give me a series that has 8 episodes, I mean, as much as I want to have more, it's a better story when you condense the 8 or 10 episodes.
Yeah.
You can put a lot into it, but it feels more complete as opposed to being dragged out to 20 episodes.
Mm-hmm. Like good example is Damon Lindelof was recently talking about Lost and how he had told ABC that he wanted to end the show at season 3. He wanted only 3 seasons, and they told him season 10, and he compromised at 6. And the part of the compromise was to cut down seasons 4 through 6 down to like 12 episodes apiece instead of doing like the 20 or 30 episodes they had in the first couple seasons, because he wanted less time so they could kind of hone the story more. And now you have I think the last season of The Flash, I think the first half of the season was one story arc and the second half was another. Like they're getting wise to it a little bit, that they have to have more closed stories, but they're definitely more episodes you have, the more filler crap you get. And I think people are not responding well to it.
Well, you can also fall into that Game of Thrones sort of issue, where you have less and you condense it and then it's tripe.
Well, that's just because the D&D the guys, they were done. They were already trying to secure their
story. They wanted out. They wanted out. And now
they wanted that Star Wars money.
Yeah, exactly. So the director's cut of Man of Steel, you did say that it had an hour worth of footage from Krypton. Is that right?
Yeah, like I think like the moment he ships off Kal-El on the ship is like at minute like 51. Like it's really far into it.
Wow.
So there's a lot more stuff into it. And
Superman Returns had a bigger Krypton scene as well in the beginning, and they were like, "Nah, we're not going to leave it in here. People get lost."
A 12-minute intro where he's like scourging the rubble, and like it's this really cool shot where he's like going up, and you see the big S, and then all the kryptonite just sickens him. It's really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of bummed out that we didn't get that because I didn't like the opening paragraph and then just the music. I was like, I want this. I want that scene. I want to see where he was.
the scene was cool, but it kind of made it to where he went there, he saw the kryptonite, he got really weak, and then he flew away from it. And the whole time I was like, so what was the point of that? Like he went there, he's like, oh man, my planet really is destroyed.
Kryptonite really is real.
The kryptonite is real, and my planet is destroyed. Tight, I'm out of here. You know. Meanwhile, like you know, Lois left him, had a kid. You know, she's mad at him.
Was actually that, in the sequel, they were going to actually set up Brainiac, and he was going to like see him and then follow him to Earth from that moment.
Yeah,
but they messed that up too. So
yeah, that's right. Because originally it was going to be Brainiac, I want to say, and then
because that director-driven studio was like, cut it down.
Yeah.
So Andrew Casali's asking a question to you, Taylor. He's asking, Taylor, how do you predict the Affleck returning? He and Andrew has a very a knack for typing errors, so he does this all the time. So returning is a little off, but how do you predict the Affleck? I think he meant to say bat. Anyway, returning. Andrew, you know what? Type it right when you ask a question, please.
And add a question mark at the end.
Yeah, and add a question mark.
I talked about this with Matt, and we both noticed that DC Fandoms Part 1 and 2 were missing all of the HBO Max content. Like everything that they were going to announce was just cut dry. And we both kind of speculate that HBO was pissed that Warner Brothers announced the Ben Affleck stuff as a way to get back at Ray. So they just pulled everything. My guess is that whenever HBO Max does their press conference, they'll announce whatever they want with Ben, because that's their realm. That's the pitch to Ben about the show, the pitch to him about continuing was all HBO's doing. It wasn't anything to do with Warner Brothers.
Plus, that would make their fandom more exciting because they'll have that and the fan base for that. Also, with their other, non-DC properties that they're going to release on, HBO Max as well. So it's like, don't just look at this, but look at this other cool stuff too.
So,
imagine they're like HBO Max fandom. Look at this: Raised by Wolves, Friends reunion, Fresh Prince reunion, Batman, Green Lantern, Justice League Dark. Like they could just drop all this stuff and be like, "Oh, this one's the better one." People will just gravitate toward that.
Yeah.
Well, and then
fire, yes.
Yes, fire, very much fire. So another thing that keeps coming up is the new Flash movie, and the amount right now, it's like the amount of cameos that are being discussed is just like astronomical. I mean, it's just
crazy.
So many different characters are being thrown out there. I mean, do you have anything? I mean, do you know anything that's going on with these cameos? I mean, is there any sense to make of all these different reports? I mean, we're talking about Tom Welling. We're talking about this guy, Nicolas Cage. Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton's like a big role. He's actually like the second main character of the film. So I actually talked to a couple buddies of mine who actually are over at Warner Brothers about the script. They were kind of laughing about all the news. They said basically that everyone's news is from like 2 script drafts ago. Like it's all changed. And the most recent draft is actually being changed because of Ben. Ben, when he agreed, he had a bunch of notes to adjust the first act, and they're redoing a lot of it to kind of cater toward what they're doing with Ben. And so a lot of the other stuff is just kind of is changing with it. So we probably won't see a lot of the stuff that these rumors. I'm willing to bet money that we're not going to see Kilmer or Clooney because neither of them want to come back. And the Nick Cage thing. They've been trying to get Nick Cage for like a year, since like back when CW was doing their Crisis.
Really?
So, yeah, they Mark Guggenheim actually reached out to Nick's agent and said, "Would you like to do this?" And he's like, "No, thank you." So,
I mean, it never actually happened. I mean, as close as it came to happening,
It's like,
it never did
do I
happen.
have to wear the hair?
I mean, you have to. You have to have the long. You have to do it. And
the Tim Burton-esque hair, yeah.
Oh god!
You know he's in a Tim Burton film because of the hair, not because of the suit, just because of the hair.
Yeah.
He was like, "No!"
I love that picture. It's so good. So good.
But now it's getting carried away. I mean,
you got Josh Brolin coming
different...
back as Jonah Hex.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
Even though he explicitly said he would never come back ever again. So I think a lot of these trades are trying to grab headlines worse than like we got this covered, where they're just like they're throwing shit to the wall and say, "Hey, if we just guess enough, something will happen."
Yeah.
But that's kind of not what the movie's about. I mean, it's not going to be Crisis Part 2. That's not what this movie is. This movie, he's going to break into the multiverse, and he's going to see some
awesome
things.
Picture.
He's going to get stuck in one corner for a majority of the film, and he's going to be stuck in the Burtonverse. So I don't think that people are grasping that this isn't a Crisis movie. This isn't a Flashpoint movie. This has got like Flashpoint vibes to it because of the whole like I'm going to break reality, and then that's kind of it. Like he's not creating the Flashpoint universe. He's just breaking into the multiverse and getting lost.
Mm-hmm. And that makes more sense because he's just learning how to use this the Speed Force in that way. And so if he accidentally just travel, like if he's running and he travels into Keaton's universe, and then he's stuck there, and then he has to figure out how to get back. And if he's in that universe for a while, and then you're able to see other characters such as Michelle Pfeiffer, Selena Kyle, or any characters that we left in those first two movies, that would be just a plus right there. Just kind of following up on those characters, and I think it sets up so much more for that universe that you can go back to, and like you've been talking about before, Taylor, with the whole Batman Beyond with Michael Keaton.
Now, so do you think that they'll create? I mean, Keaton's creating this new suit for him, right? That Nickatina pimping. Do you think that they'll also in the Burtonverse create the cosmic treadmill in order for him to get back to his reality?
I would think so. I mean, because that was actually something that Zach had a major play on in the Snyderverse, was that Victor was going to make him the treadmill, and that was how they were going to do the time travel stuff. So you would think that according to how the Snyder Cut kind of laid out, the Flash is aware of his own time traveling because he starts seeing them in his dreams. So he starts seeing the overlap because of the ripple in time. But you would think that he would have at least had a glimpse, like, oh, there's a treadmill involved. That's how I do this. So that's honestly my opinion, is that he's probably going to take those vibes and those rumblings and then be like, hey, in this universe, this is how I did it. We got to make something similar. Yeah. Kind of like in the Flashpoint, where he's like, I need to get my powers back, so let's just lock me to an electric chair and just douse me in chemicals. Like they're gonna, he's gonna try to replicate it.
Yeah,
so
it's not gonna work. We're
going to see Cyborg in the Flash, obviously. So is he going to create it in the Flash, or is that Zack Snyder?
From my understanding, the stuff with Victor was that Victor's at Star Labs and he's going to help him break into the multiverse the first time. And I'm not sure how big of a scene it's going to be, but he's there, and then when he pops through, then that's kind of it.
I'm thinking that it's going to be like an accidental kind of thing. Like they're trying to do something else, but this is sort of what happened because of what they were trying to do. Yeah. Then Keaton's Batman comes in and helps him out with the cosmic treadmill. Then after the cosmic treadmill, he sort of has that idea, and he tells the idea to Victor, and then Victor and Bruce make their version in their world, the cosmic treadmill, which allows him to jump back and do whatever he needs to do with Snyder's story arc, and talk to Bruce in his dream and all that.
I'd like that, honestly. I think that'd be a cool way of laying it out.
I sold that to Warner Brothers a little while ago.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good.
I was like, yeah, here you go.
No, honestly, the whole idea is pretty cool because they're going to, like I said on Twitter, they're going to basically bring out everything and basically say, hey, the entire multiverse is here. Everything that came before is equally canon. Like, you don't have to say, "Oh, this is a reboot." They're like, "Okay, they're just telling a different story now." So they're establishing the multiverse on a very grand scale.
So this topic has caught the attention of a lot of people right now, and one of them, who was going to come on a little bit later, this cause is so bad that he had to come on right now, and it's none other than my good friend, a great guy, Mr. Sil Abdul.
That was such a terrible segue. That was such terrible.
He's like, what are we talking about?
I was waiting for Ryan to leave, like the whole time. I was like, Ryan's gonna leave. Then
I know. I'm sorry. I put you in the. You're my shadow.
No,
it's all good.
But no, what's up, Nickatina? Taylor, I haven't talked to Taylor in like over a week. Like, that's forever in social media, you know? That's
yeah, I've been busy. Work has been like the worst. Apparently, Washington was on fire last week, so I was just dealing with that. So
exactly. And then we got Steve up there, Jessica, my buddy Jessica. What's going on, y'all? This is cool. This is fire, as Anthony would say. Fire.
Fire.
Are we still on this question? Okay.
Yeah. We're talking about the whole cameo thing with
I can
the
keep
Flash.
talking if you want me to. I can go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Please do. No, please do. No, I mean,
yeah. What are your sources to say? Who's in the Flash now?
Well, that's what I was going to get to, was that, you had touched on Mikey Sutton. Oh, go ahead, Jessica.
I want to know what's the latest on Flashpoint Batman. What about Jeffrey Dean Morgan? All that stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, is he hopeful? I mean, I put him in my image, but I mean, is he still in it? Because Keaton has such a large role.
I gotta take a phone call.
That didn't last long.
Yeah. Oh, convenient. Call me, please.
From what I was told,
he's like, Taylor, call me quick.
What I was told was the original role that they had for like the mentor Batman, which was the Thomas Wayne Flashpoint. That's Michael Keaton's role now. He's the mentor Batman.
Yeah.
And I was told that the Jeffrey Dean Morgan's still in the cards for a cameo. Like, he may not get a huge role, but that we're going to see him at least some point, because they want to show the greater universe of it all.
I want to see him on the big screen so bad. I want to see Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Thomas Wayne, as that Flashpoint Batman. Like, if we can get anything close to that, it would just be so awesome.
Yeah.
I would be fine with, even if they made it like a comic relief bit where like Flash pops through and then just shows up in the Batcave, and he turns and sees Jeffrey Dean Morgan just loading a handgun and a bat mask on the desk, and he just looks at him and he's like, "Sorry," and then just like that would be like, I'd be happy with
wrong earth. But yeah, just like Taylor, I mean, that's what I'm hearing. Like, that this Flash movie is gonna be like a love letter to DC, is what I'm told. So you may get some kind of montage. It's not gonna be as crazy like Taylor was saying with all these different cameos, but I mean, I wouldn't put it past him to put in Flashpoint Batman. Yeah.
I mean, what's the chances of them doing a whole film based on that, or like an HBO Max something? You know, HBO Max series Flashpoint.
Yeah. I mean, they could definitely expand it. Yeah, that'd be cool.
And real quick, Craig, I've checked my DM. There's nothing there, so I don't know. Maybe you're DMing the other Nickatina, the rapper. He's at home like, hey, man,
what's this?
What is this? Who are you? It's like Flashpoint.
So another cameo that could appear that is also in the image I put in there is Grant. I think that we would see Grant in this sort of timeline, just to have that interaction between he and Ezra, just to sort of say, hey, how Grant gives him his name, the Flash. Yeah. And then he, moving forward, he understands who he is or whatever from Grant's interaction.
Like my opinion, my kind of personal theory on that is they do the multiverse testing with him and Victor. He pops through, you see the opposite end of the cameo from the CW, and he comes back and he's like, I saw another world. Apparently I'm called the Flash. Let's do this again. And that's when he breaks in and gets stuck.
Yeah, something simple and easy. Just like
that's why I heard like the payoff.
Sorry.
That's boy Nickatina.
Sorry. Because you see that he's in his regular costume from Justice League, and not the new one that he gets from Michael Keaton. So it has to be in the beginning of the story somewhere that he has that interaction with.
Like after the fact, like, hey, remember last year when I broke in the universe and I met that other Flash? Like, you could
how about an alternate take of that CW shot? Because Taylor, I know you know this when when Ezra Miller jumped into that shop with Grant, the ratio changed on the CW show. So I think they would literally show the alternate take of that from Ezra in the movie.
Or kind of like what you guys were saying earlier, that he's on the treadmill, and then all of a sudden, you're seeing it from Cyborg's point of view, where he goes when he comes back instantaneously, like, what happened? He's
was
like
that the DeLorean?
Yeah, that was his DeLorean. Out of time. But
yeah.
Like, it would happen like instantaneously, and then he would say, "Well, what happened?" And he would say, "My God, like I just saw something you would never believe." What? And then that's when, and then like you said, Taylor, then he go right into it again.
A taller, skinnier version of myself. It was weird.
Yeah. It looks nothing like me.
He had blue eyes.
But that is one cameo I believe. I do believe that Grant Gustin. I don't believe everything that people are talking about, but I do believe that Grant Gustin take possibly the Titans world, but that's as far as I would go with it right now.
So cool.
Yeah. But
Jessica, what do you think? Do you think Grant Gustin will make an appearance?
That would be so cool. But I don't know if maybe him in the suit, because that might not look the best. Maybe
I think what they'll do is they'll take some of the production and they'll make him a screen ready, kind of like the Power Rangers. When they make a movie, they don't look, they're not in those goofy ass spandex suits. I think they'll make, Grant something a little bit more. It'll be the same design, but just better materials. And they'll probably use the better materials since then for episode or season 7 of The Flash or whatever.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Well, that's why they haven't changed the Atom suit in the entirety of the CW, because that suit costs so much money. They're like, we're never changing it because we're not doing this again. So if they get a suit made for them from the movie studio, they'd be like, we're going to use this forever.
Well, that's what they did with Tom Welling and Superman Returns. They took Brandon Routh's suit and just put it on him for a minute. And
Sil, are you there?
Sil.
Sil's gone.
Oh no.
Wow.
Yes, I need that clip.
I finally got to use it.
And look, and it's swirling.
It's swirling.
Yeah, it's swirling on his.
So he'll be back shortly once he gets cleaned up. Oh, he left. He's gone.
He probably had connection issues. It must be really bad Wi-Fi in the lavatory.
All right, hold on. There he is.
Stop playing all those videos. You kicking me out when you do that.
Is that what it is?
No.
His internet connection's so volatile.
I just got a crappy signal.
Get some tin foil and put it on your antennas.
I may try that actually.
I don't even think that worked back when we had antennas on our TVs. I remember as a kid that never working.
I believe in my head though. I made myself believe that worked.
Oh, what's up? We got South Cali guy in the chat. What's up, South Cali guy? So there's so much going on with this whole DC universe. I mean, it's insane right now. And like we've been saying, it's a great time to be a DC fan. And it's a great time to be a fan in general. Yeah, it's just so good. But another thing that we've been kind of discussing and it's been talked about for quite a while is the whole Green Lantern on HBO Max. Yes. So this is going to be set in a not with Hal Jordan or John Stewart, but a separate group of individuals, a group of lanterns that we're following, or is it going to be like a major storyline?
I heard it was going to be a major storyline.
Okay.
They were going to, there was that one Reddit leak, I think a little while back, where they said there's going to be 2 coherent storylines existing at the same time. One being a past, one being a present, and they're kind of telling one big story. Kind of like Lost, but less confusing.
Better.
So I think, that's what DC's been kind of doing, right? I mean, that's what Arrow did for the first 5 seasons of their show. You had a past flashback timeline, and then you had the main one, and they told one big story. So I feel like that's, if that leak was real, you had, what was it? Hal Jordan and Sinestro in one timeline, and then you had Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz in the other timeline. And They were kind of telling the story of the Red Lanterns and the Manhunters, I think is what they were talking about in that leak.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That'd be dope.
I love the animated television show, and they did, when they introduced the Red Lanterns, then they also introduced the Manhunters. I thought that was great because it kept it cosmic. It didn't have to. We didn't care about Earth. We were off doing other things, and creativity can explode on screen.
Yeah. I just heard the Hal Jordan that we're supposed to see a Hal Jordan with it, but hopefully, yeah.
So how's John Stewart in all this?
Yeah, so still going back over to the whole what you had reported on from Mikey Sutton at Geekosity.
Oh yeah.
So John Stewart, that's going to be more of a WB Pictures property. Like he's going to be on the silver screen while Hal Jordan will be on HBO Max. Is that kind of how they're looking at doing it?
Hal Jordan is a question mark. Like I said, all I know is that they were discussing that for HBO Max, possibly a Hal Jordan. John Stewart, supposedly they're looking to cast a John Stewart to possibly cameo in the Flash movie and be in Justice League 2, which means they're, thinking about Justice League 2, which is cool. So. And
then still Craig has been hitting me up and hitting you up now. Do you see what he's talking about?
He's Taylor, did you see this tweet about the I guess some music for the Zack Snyder Justice League?
No.
I don't know if you're tagged in it. But
I might be. I don't know. I haven't really been on Twitter today.
It's like some dope music that I'm gonna see if I can tag you, Nickatina, and then you can play it.
Let me see.
And then they'll probably pull the stream, but it's okay.
They'll pull the stream. Hey, that's the best way to go down. Going down swinging. Oh, here we go.
That means it's real, right?
Yeah, that's real.
Let's see.
Oh, wait, here it is, right here. I found it.
I got it. Okay.
Yeah, he just sent it to me right now. Let me share a screen real quick.
Before you do that, Steve, it is in the chat. Steve in the chat, not Steve on the panel. Steve in the chat. Berlanti is a part of the Green Lantern.
Oh
TV
yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Let me see. Is that it right there? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so here we go. I shared the audio, so I won't mess that up. And is it playing? Hold on.
Sounds like some hard rock. What was that?
Well, that was interesting.
That sounded cool.
It was it sounded distorted.
I guess we got the originator of that tweet in the chat, I guess.
Oh yeah, Craig.
Con.
Oh, Con. Bro, Caden, no. Con! I should get that one.
My ears hurt.
He says, tag me still. Tag me too, Sil. Well, Con, I don't know where that came from, but that's my Twitter. Ha 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 ha. Okay, so there's been so much speculation about the whole Green Lantern topic. I mean, it's probably the one character in the entire, out of all characters that are in this movie for Zack Snyder Justice League, that is the biggest mystery. We don't know who. We know he's in it, but we don't know who's playing it. Well, it hasn't been confirmed who's going to be playing that character or whatnot.
I feel like at this point, it's the worst kept secret of all time.
It kind of is. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, even Mikey Sutton saying that it's not going to be Ryan Reynolds.
It's not Ryan Reynolds.
Oh no, that's confirmed. Like,
what?
Like, kill the Ryan Reynolds talk. It's in print now. Just don't even no Ryan Reynolds.
It's over.
Yeah.
It is a Ryan.
That's right.
Is it this Ryan? I don't know.
Great take, Ryan. Great take.
Great take, Ryan.
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille.
I know, Steve. Steve, what do you think with the Green Lantern in the Snyder Cut? Think it's gonna be Kyle Rayner, like Ryan was gonna say?
Could be.
How about we just wait until the movie comes out?
I just say throw Ryan Reynolds into the Flash movie. As another multiverse.
No, I want to answer.
Instead of us speculating which Ryan is going to be, it's not Reynolds, it's not my man Ryan here, it's not even Gosling, who knows? and maybe it's one of the other alien Green Lanterns. Maybe it's Tomo
That'd be
Ray. Maybe
awesome.
it's Kilowog. Maybe it's one of these. Maybe it's a Squirrel Lantern.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
it's the
That
big
would be the
eyeball.
best one right there.
But you know what? 2021's gonna come soon. Why don't we just sit and wait?
I
And
agree.
Instead of like figuring out who is right, who is wrong, what's on Reddit, who's got the sword, how many petals we have, how many thorns we have, who gives a shit? Let's just sit and wait.
What do you think,
What's up,
Jessica?
Dr. Fate?
He's like, that's nice. Now, next version. What do you think?
Yeah, that's great. Anyhow,
I think Hal Jordan, right? Because that was the original script, wasn't it?
Al Jordan
Yeah.
for the
Al
Zack
Jordan.
Snyder Justice League. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sam Benjamin.
I like Ifye in the chat. Victor Koo. That's my pick.
Victor
Green
Koo.
Lantern.
Victor Koo.
It makes sense because he's been working out. He's buff.
Heck yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay, I talked to Victor the other day. I think a lot of people are like, he went media silent. He's filming. No, his wife had a kid. He's dealing with a new kid. He texted me. He's like, I'm not gone anywhere. I literally haven't left my house. I have a baby. And he's like, no, so people like need to like, he will let me know when he goes, and then I'll tell everyone. So
And then everyone will say, "No, Taylor's wrong. He's at home.
yeah. Taylor, he's a baby.
He's got the baby."
yeah.
Well, that was a funny thing with that Superman story, Nickatina. I sent you that story from Geekosity. When in the Culture Nerd, when they dropped that Superman story, it was like, oh, cool, like, some confirmation. Because the first thing everybody said was, oh, it was cameos all year. We've all heard of cameos, Black Adam, Shazam. And so when that article came out from Culture Nerd, I was like, hey, I hit up the staff at Geekosity. And I was like, hey, Culture Nerd's pretty, I know Taylor, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Mikey Sutton, checked with some people with Warner Media. And he was like, oh, yeah. He's like, yeah, this is solid. That's what he said in the article that he credited the Culture Nerd.
Russia.
And he was like, we haven't heard of a definite solo movie yet, but obviously, he's going to come. So, I mean, Henry Cavill is Superman for the foreseeable future of this generation. So, we could put that to rest. So people don't say no Culture
mean
Nerd.
That they can't cast more Supermen, and for different, incarnations, different stories that
Like
don't
Hawkman?
connect or do connect. Who knows? I mean, you could have Henry in a different super. You could have Henry and Brandon on the same in the same film.
I mean, Brandon Routh is supposed to be the modern day Christopher Reeve. That's the canon that he's in.
Craig, that's not nice, Craig. Come on. Yes, his wife just
That's
had a
why
baby.
I put him in that little picture
That's not nice.
because they could be in the same film.
They could. And honestly, I think people underestimate. Like Brandon Routh is actually older than Henry Cavill by quite a bit, actually. I think I was reading like Brandon Routh's like in his 40s now.
Yeah. He's in his 40s. He's younger than Ben.
Well,
older than Henry. Henry's like 30, 38?
Yes, he's 38. 43.
Oh, yeah, that's right. From our thing. Yeah. He's 30. Yeah, I remembered.
I remembered.
And I think Brandon's like, what, 42?
I thought it was Henry's like 37 and Brandon's 40 or 41. So he is older. I know that when they both auditioned for Superman Returns, they went with Brandon because he was older and he looked older and he looked more like Christopher Reeves.
He's 6'2". He's 40 years old. So Brandon is 40.
He looked and he sounded and he acted just like Christopher Reeves. I thought he did an amazing job. They said
his wife was the one that sold it. Okay, so so he's 37. So Henry Cavill is 37, not 38.
No, okay, well,
so 3-year difference.
Not bad.
Yeah, but they're both in the 6 foot era.
Thank you, Geek Burrito.
Thank you.
That's a great name, actually.
I like that one. Geek Burrito.
That sounds very tasty.
What was that, Taylor?
That's actually Gabe. He's on TCN staff. He's one of the. He runs a TCN Burrito account that he's been neglecting for like 6 months because of COVID.
Oh, really?
That's why I never heard of it. Okay.
Well,
who doesn't like burritos?
I know who doesn't like burritos. So Taylor, that's the question I kind of had, and not to steer too far off of the things that we've been talking about, but you run the Culture Nerd, but when you put this whole thing together, what inspired you to start the website to begin with? And I know you've touched on this before, but this is the first time you've been on my show, so you're gonna do it again. So,
I'll do it again.
so
Back when I was in high school.
Actually, you know what, Taylor? I want to know what made you want to consult with Syl. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
That
No
was
one
Matt's
wants to know
doing.
that.
That was by force.
That was by force. 'Cause Matt did
He
that.
got catfished.
Yeah, I got that real hard.
He's like,
He's like, you're not Mikey Sutton. What is this?
So I grew up in San Diego, and I don't know, when did I graduate high school? It was like 16 years ago ish when I was out of high school. We finished high school, and a buddy of mine, we started a website because we kind of got like sick of seeing the same story just cut and paste everywhere, and no one really had the whole truth. We saw like 10 articles say one thing, and then only one article say something different, and that one article had more details than the other 10 because they were just copying each other. So we kind of wanted to do this whole idea of posting like kind of the unfiltered news, but without having that bias that kind of existed. Southern California was it's kind of biased. I mean, California and pretty much every state on the coastline, they have their one way of thinking, their one way of seeing Hollywood, one way of seeing everything. It was just because that's just part of the nature of it. I mean, and we kind of liked seeing other perspectives. So we started initial website, and then we broke off and then turned it into the Culture Nerd in about 2012. So I left the country. I lived overseas for a bit, came back. We did that website again, and then I realized that the idea for the website got bigger than what the original website was. So we broke them in half, and Culture Nerd spawned out of it. And the whole goal was just to always just deal in the truth, deal in the rumors, and only share what we had found was true. I mean, I grew up with a lot of family at Warner Brothers, a lot of family at different studios. I have an uncle who worked on The Good Place and shows like that, and those aren't Warner Brothers at all.
It's a great show.
Such a good show. I have family like my cousin's dad worked on Star Wars. He was in the miniature shop and helped them make the little miniatures for the Death Star raid.
Phil Tippett.
I have cousins who were in various movies and background bits, the things like that. We just had family all over the place that just did different things. A lot of it was centralized in Warner Brothers, but we had it kind of everywhere. So I heard a lot of things, and even my neighbor, my best friend growing up, his dad worked for Warner Brothers as just like a PR guy. So like even outside of the family, I still had these guys next door to me. So we kept hearing all these things, but things that we wanted to share with people, but no one really listened, right? So we started the Culture Nerd on this whole idea of like, let's share what makes us excited, right? Let's share the news that we're hearing that generally gets us excited, things that people aren't hearing about because now we call them gatekeepers, but that was kind of what this concept was back 15 years ago, was just people who didn't want certain information out because they were holding it hostage. And we started the Culture Nerd on that notion was to share things that made us happy. And that's kind of why it's always been all over the place. I mean, you have people who come in and like, oh, I'm a nerd about music. So we have music, and we have video games. We had when we first launched, we had a guy who did like a weekly D&D thing because he loved D&D and that was his thing. We wanted to give nerds an outlet, and we always wanted to push it to this whole idea where we don't get paid for it so that our sponsors don't dictate what we say or do. We don't want to create that bias. So that was the whole motivation from the beginning. And then when I relaunched it last year, I wanted to go forward with that same thing. Like my wife and I, we make great money working at a hospital, so we didn't need another income. I wasn't looking to replace my job. I was looking to have this be not so much a glorified hobby, but like just something so I could share my excitement with people. because a lot of people say like, "Oh, stay in your lane," and my lane in personal life is working at a hospital dealing with patients, and
Right.
you need outlets. I mean, people need to get out there, and I have the rest of my family who does not work in a hospital. They work in like movie studios, and I was the black sheep, but I still get excited about all these things. So I share what I can. I share what I hear. I share what my friends tell me, what my peers tell me, what my cousins, my contacts through my family, from all these people. I share what I hear because it makes me excited. Like when I heard the Snyder Cut was coming, I was like, I want to share this with everyone. And everyone's like, no, it's not coming. I'm like, no, that is what the agenda is telling you, because the agenda is let's suppress Zach because we don't like Zach. But the reality is AT&T loves Zach because he makes them a butt ton of money. So the reality is the Snyder Cut was always coming because they always knew that even after all the politics aside, all the other nonsense, all the bias, all the angry critics, as soon as they stopped, Zach would still make them money. And
Right.
AT&T always knew they were going to release the Snyder Cut because they saw it as an avenue for money. So when people kept saying it's not happening, I'm like, no, it'll happen. It'll always happen, but they're going to cash on it when they can cash on it the best, and that's what we got. Was the Snyder Cut reached an all-time high, and it gave them enough reason to say yes, it's happening. Let's make this happen. The fans, it's like a snowball that went down the hill and got to a point where it was becoming an avalanche, and they had to do it. And so that's, I mean, the Culture Nerd, the whole concept was just to share what we hear and to share our love of various nerddoms with people.
And do you think that's the reason why, the Culture has received so much, negative backlash for the news that they put out? I mean, whenever I hear Scoop of the Culture Nerd, I get excited as hell. I'm like, yeah, this is great. But others don't always feel the same way. And I wonder, is it because of the fact that you're not doing it, for money? It's, you're not trying to make money off of this. You're not doing it, for clout. You think that is a driving force behind a lot of this? So
It's that word
hate?
clout.
It's that word clout.
I honestly, I didn't think about, like, it was kind of a weird thing because, like, I've had a Twitter for years. I never really used it. I mean, you can see the Culture Nerds Twitter was founded in 2013 and only really became active last year. I really didn't do much on social media, so I didn't see how toxic it really was. So when it started happening, I was like, oh, what's this? What is this weirdness? And then started getting bad. I'm like, oh no, it's getting terrible. But it was interesting because a lot of the people that started like bashing the Culture Nerd, bashing me in particular, these were people that had I dropped that first story earlier this year when I said, hey, Snyder Cut's coming. But they wanted to do it sooner, but the COVID is slowing it down. And
that was in March.
In March, yeah. And I got a bunch of people like, hey, that's awesome. What else have you heard? And I started telling them, and I'm like, oh, this is happening. This is happening like next week. This is happening a few weeks after that. And they're like, awesome. And then the moment I put that stuff out there, they turned on me. And it was weird because it was like, I would see these like in the DMs, they're like nice and like, oh yeah, this is awesome, man. Kudos to you. Good job. And then like in public, they're like, fuck that guy. And just like completely just dumping on me publicly. And I'm like, what the hell is this?
What was crazy about that article though, Taylor, is like y'all detailed the production deal that Stone Quarry had with Warner Brothers, AT&T, which was like, laying the pathway. It was like if a plane laying the runway for a deal, the Snyder Cut. It was pretty wild. Yeah.
But it was,
Anthony Aquaman was trying to take a dip in the water. I had to put him back in his place though. Taylor, go ahead.
You should let him.
I was just trying to admire my bat that I got right here. It's beautiful. Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks.
But no, it's it was weird.
Thanks. Shut up. Sure.
But I think
Craig, that's not nice, Craig. Don't do that. The ones that are bashing you, Taylor, are still burner account.
Whoa.
Oh, Craig.
Right there. How did you find out?
Whoa. That's a new one.
Burner accounts. That's what it is.
I heard a lot of new stuff last week, but that's a new one right there.
Not cool. Not cool.
Hey, was that Superman?
Yeah, that was Soups.
Anyways, no, it was weird because I think maybe I burned a couple bridges here and there, because I am naturally paranoid, right? Like my dad works in national security, and he like raised us to be like aware, which is his way of saying just treat your whole life thinking that someone's trying to kill you, and that's kind of how he raised us. So I was naturally paranoid. So I see all these fans come in my DMs like, "Hey, what's happening now? What's happening now?" And there were some of them that I started suspecting would be like they're fishing for information for other outlets. So I started like making shit up, and just like, yeah. And then like I started seeing the other outlets start putting this stuff out there, and I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. So I had a little fun with that for a little while, but I think when people realized, they later on used a lot of that stuff against me, saying, "Oh, he was full of lies. He told us this."
Yeah.
Like,
I was about to ask about that.
I know I told you this because I was trying to bait you into saying something nonsense.
You were like, that was the
That's
point.
so weird.
That was the plan.
That is so weird, though, that people. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it's one of those things that like, so you started up and then you start receiving all this negative backlash. It seems like it's something that you don't kind of predict will happen. And then when it does, you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, no, it's weird. It's like, I don't know why the internet fucking was mad at me because Ben was coming back. I was like, don't you want to hear this? And they're like, no, fuck you. I'm like, Ben is coming back. And they're like, no, you're fucking lying.
They're like, no, screw that. I didn't.
No, that's what
I
they
should release
said.
that story. Yeah.
They actually said that. Yeah.
And then like Ben comes back and they're like, he's still a liar. I'm like, okay. All right.
That was the weirdest day ever.
Yeah, he's still liars.
People, they were so spiteful. They was like, oh well, when the news of Affleck in the Flash movie, and that
They're
one
like,
guy,
yes, buddy.
I'm not gonna say the account, Taylor, but that one guy was like, I'm not gonna apologize for nothing. I was like, oh my god, dude, like, just give it up, dude.
Well, right there, that's a double negative, so that's just bad grammar.
Just give it up.
And obviously when that Jim Lee art came out as well.
Oh yeah, all
the
the
Jim
art.
Lee
Yeah.
art. Yes.
Yes.
So that
All
one
this art.
Crazy time.
So I was on my hiatus. I wasn't even part of the website at the time. Like I was like, I'm done, guys, and I left. In the middle of it, I get a text from one of my editors, and they're like, "Oh man, we fucked up." And I'm like, "What happened?" And they're like, "That picture, we ran it." I'm like, "Okay." And they're like, "And everyone is mad." And I was like, "Why?" And it was funny because like everyone got so pissed off about it. And then you had like people like Ascendant Ancient, who was like,
Yeah.
kind of notorious for leaking shit for the Snyder Cut movement. And he was like, guys, Zach talked about this in length. He told you what this scene was. Why are you mad?
Yeah.
You're mad because there's a picture of what he said?
You ruined the whole ending for me.
Even though most of us already knew it.
Oh, but wait. Hold on, Taylor. That is exactly what I was telling about at the beginning of this thing when I was talking about people need that they use visuals to learn. People use visuals to learn. They don't read, and sometimes they don't listen. But if you show them something visual, they get they're visual learners. So they're like, I get it now. But so that's probably what happened.
Yeah, like I don't get what it is. Like Zach says in a like live on stage saying, Lois dies, Wonder Woman dies, Aquaman dies, Flash is ripped in half, and he just like says all of this stuff, and people are like, that's awesome. And then there's a picture of like two of those things. Oh, burn that bitch. And they just like immediately
What is a witch made out of?
It was the craziest thing I had seen, and it wasn't like
I knew.
She's a witch. I'm the witch.
I got better. Yeah.
I was not even on the website, and I came back and I just saw like I think I came back like 200 DMs like, how dare you, man? I'm like, I'm sorry. I was just like, what did I do?
It's almost as if the other scoopers were out there, and when they saw that, they were just like,
no.
They're like, no.
They were saying no about something. I'm gonna let Taylor tell y'all, but
The funny thing is, all of these scoopers had it. Like everyone who put out their pitchforks and said, "You burn these guys." These are the people that had the image.
But
like,
Taylor, go ahead.
I asked who had it, and they're like, "Oh, this person has it. This person has it. This person has it." And they gave me a list, and I'm like, "Okay, so why are 7 of the 8 of these people on this list attacking me for this?" Oh, that's right, because they were planning on releasing it around the time the Snyder Cut came out, so they could get headlines.
You broke the
what
news before them, right?
Broke the news. Technically, I didn't break the news. My staff decided to steal their thunder, and I got blamed. So, but
sounds like a nasty business. The scooping game.
It really is.
Burner accounts.
I know, right? It's like ice cream is dangerous.
It's like all these KD burner accounts. My goodness.
KD.
It's funny because like
KD burner accounts.
That one Sil Abdul Laboratory. That's the one I'm concerned with.
I'm worried about
Sil
that
Abdul
guy.
Inc.
Sil Abdul Inc. Oh yeah, just that one. Yeah.
All my.
I got some nachos, so I'll probably be quiet for a minute. I got some nachos.
And some OE.
Nachos.
He drinks OE on every stream when he's not on his coffee talk.
Just streams with you, Ryan. That's all.
Yeah, that's how he gets through it. So, Taylor, when you start your website, right? What's the process you go through in terms of like assembling your team? I mean, obviously, you brought Sil along with you at one point. How did you assemble the team you have now with Marcus and TJ Bravo and all these guys?
So, as I mentioned before, when Josh he ended his website, and one of his writers was actually Marcus. Marcus came over to me from Josh, and a couple other people came with him, and then TJ and Sean were actually people that had followed TCN from like back in like the first 200. Like when I first started the Instagram, they're like follow, and then somehow they actually had writing ability. So I was like, nice. Hey, you guys can join up. And it kind of turned into one of those like random happenstance kind of things where I just like randomly stumbled across this great group of people and they stuck around. So it's one of those, we just had like the right alignment of values and goals, and then they just stayed. I still don't understand why they're staying, but they're staying. So
well, it's the loyalty.
Because you're a nice guy, Taylor.
Because you're a nice guy. Man. A ham radio.
Yeah, no, because Gabe, he lives not too far from me. He actually came over to my house yesterday and borrowed some video games because he doesn't want to buy them, but he wants to play them. So
I love that name, though. Geek
so Gabe, I've known for years. It's a good one. Yeah,
yeah. Your team is Task Force X.
Like it's funny, somebody was like,
thank you.
Someone accused Gabe once of cultural appropriation, saying what you're doing is racist against Mexicans, and he's like, I am. What's wrong with you? It's really funny.
It's crazy. It really is. It's just insane. So
Twitter's insane. I don't like Twitter that much. Instagram is so nice. I don't get hate mail on Instagram. Everyone's nice on Instagram.
Oh, Jesse, really? Still tell me some exclusives that never turned out to be true. He's trolling. Jessica, go ahead. Go ahead, Jessica.
I mean, I suppose you could find toxicity on Instagram if you really looked, but yeah.
It's hard to find because they get shunned.
Less harder to find, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So one last thing that we're going to touch on before we get to our final segment. And a lot of the fans or the viewers have been asking about this as well. And let's see. What is the latest on the Ayer cut? And Steve, go ahead.
Got all the info.
Oh, there he goes.
Seal's gone.
Seal's doing it. Everyone's eating right now.
I need to find something. I have something, right? I don't.
Actually, you know what? Of all the guests I've seen on shows, Taylor is one of the guests that I always see eating. He's always munching on like that right there. He's always reaching over. He's like,
No, I was looking for something. It's an empty bag. I was like, damn it.
He's always eating like peanut M&Ms or something. I don't know what it is. He was like,
man's got to eat, you.
I know. He doesn't care. He's just like, hey, if I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat. I don't care.
Man's hungry. Man's got to eat.
I have to eat. Like, so that's what it was. Like, I got off work early today, and my wife made dinner, and I ate that beforehand. My lateness came to the fact that like my clock was off, and I thought it was actually 5 minutes before than what it actually was. I was like, oh no! I ran to the computer. But no, it's like Brad Pitt in Ocean's 11. Anytime you see him in a new scene, he's eating something.
Yeah, he's eating. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was something that I thought was the funniest thing ever, and then I just started doing it, and then Matt accused me of the same thing. Like, every time you have something in your hand. It's something different every time.
So there was, because we had started talking about the Air Cut briefly, Jesse Allen from Cut Air did send me a tweet, or he DM'd me, and it's a new video that he put out there, which was so unexpected when I saw it earlier today. I did not think that this was going to happen. And I literally almost had a heart attack. I was like, are you serious? This is so awesome. And here it is, guys. You'll never believe this, but Cedric the Entertainer is here.
HBO Max, AT&T. Look, y'all got to release the Air Cut, a Suicide Squad. Cut Air at Cut Air, the Air Cut. Y'all got to do it, man. The Suicide Squad, man. We all waiting for it. You know what I mean? That's the one. You know, and then plus everybody, y'all know this. When we do this, all them proceeds will go to charity. We want y'all to ask for it, hit them up, and then, hey, y'all bring Jared Leto back as the Joker and do the Harley Quinn Joker movie. That's necessary. That's necessary. All right, we're playing. Let's get it. The Air Cut. Let's go. I want to see it. I know you want to see it. Suicide Squad gang. Let's go, baby.
Hell yeah. That's the greatest thing of the day. Like, that's amazing.
Air Cut.
Air Cut.
Air Cut. Cut Air Cut. Whatever.
Yeah. He was like,
God bless Cedric, man. The original king of comedy.
Dude.
Oh my God. So I was, I've been working on a ton of projects at home, and I was inside painting my bedroom, and all of a sudden I get a tweet from him or a DM. He's like, hey, check this out. And I'm like, I look at it, I'm like, no way. And then he starts playing. I start playing it, and I'm like, how the hell? How did you get Cedric the Entertainer? That's so awesome. Oh my God.
Yeah. I was at work and he sent me this. He's like, check this out. I'm like in between patients, and I walk around, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, is this real? And I turn my phone. I'm like, is this actually happening?
They're like, Taylor, we need you in here, Taylor.
No, I'm busy.
We're losing him.
Hold on, I'm in the middle of something. It's Cedric the Entertainer, damn it.
He's telling the world the truth. I need to see it.
I know.
He won't get to see the Air Cut.
If he's flatlined, we can't use the paddles.
We can't use the paddles. No, I've seen it in movies. Clear.
Casino right now. The extended cut is coming to HBO Max, guys. And then all the nurses go, wait, what? Okay, guys. So now we've reached the final stage of the show, and what we're gonna do is, let me set this up real quick. We're gonna play a game called the Age Game, and it's a trivia game that we're all gonna take part of. But you know what though? Sil is already here, but wait, we kind of have an odd number of people here. So let's see. I need to get somebody else on the show. So anyone in the audience, if you guys want to come in here and be a part of this, please let me know. Let's see. Does anybody want to come in here? I don't know. DC, that's not nice. Don't say that. Let's see.
Why don't you just leave?
Yeah, I'm going to leave my own show. Okay, now we have an even number of people.
Yay!
Yay!
Oh, now
okay, so let's see here. Wait a minute. I think I see somebody in what is that? Yeah, you in the back row.
Hey, the Riddler, is it?
Hey, you in the back row. Hey, come on in. Paper
Murray, come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. Oh, you okay? You all right? Shake.
We have Anthony.
Let's go!
He's in the
fire.
Hey,
Let me see the fire.
I need some fire in the chat.
Yeah, let me see some fire in the chat. Give me some fire in the
emojis
chat.
are a must right now. Let's see it, everybody. Come on.
Fire.
Okay, guys.
Got
So
some
we're
fire hot
Age
sauce.
Game.
Yes.
Fire.
Ooh, nice. I like that Taco Bell.
I had a buddy who was on The Price is Right, and he texted me. He's like, "I'm in line. they're gonna bring me on. And I'm like, really? He's
They're
like,
gonna bring me on.
and then he got on, and I was like, oh my god! And like he actually got on and actually was in like the panel, and he sent me the clip, and he's like, look what I did. I'm like, you terrible at guessing, man. You could have gone further. So,
What's up, Barcelona in
I
here?
didn't let him have that victory. I dumped on him for that.
Oh, Namon, come on, Namon.
what is that?
Snowflakes.
Snowflakes.
This ain't frozen.
That's not fire.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta let it go. Come on. Everyone's going off right now. Oh, bat dance up in here.
Fire. There you go.
Hey, since ACS is here, man, why don't you show your wife's shirts off, man?
You want me to show?
Give her some props, man. 'Cause, I mean, she did a hell of a job.
What's up, Katsuki? Laying down the fire.
All right.
Who was that?
What's that?
Oh, I heard someone talking. I thought that was Ryan.
No. That's ACS's wife. You better not. You better show my shit on stream.
Nah, she's probably asleep. I think she's asleep. But anyway, yeah. So here's
blow him up.
Her creations. This is.
I will.
There you go.
Dawson, Nerdy in Many Ways, the shirt that she made.
Yeah.
Look at that, awesome. Man. I love that. That's so shiny.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It's fire. Yeah.
And then this guy.
Oh, yeah, this is Zod's.
That's like, bro, look at that. Hella creepy.
Look at that face.
Well, have you ever seen Zod's logo? Zod's logo.
Yeah.
I know he's like, he's scary like that.
His logo is his face.
I will find him.
I will find him.
Okay, the next one.
And of course, this is the man who's running this show right now.
Yeah, there we go.
Fire.
That's great.
I love it.
Man, that's such a
keep
great
that one out.
I'll wait to mail that one until like February 2nd.
Oh yeah.
Hey, yeah. Take your time. Nickatina can wait.
This is mine that I'll be wearing tomorrow. When Sean O'Connell comes on the show.
Fire.
Fire. Look, so for those of you who don't know, when you make your very first appearance on my show on my channel, you leave with a gift. So those are the gifts we got behind for several circumstances. But yeah, you leave with a gift. So when you come on the show, that's what happens for you. But anyway, what's good?
Back to the game. Okay, so these are the teams. It's going to be Jessica Blake, Steve, and Sil will be team number 1. The other team will be Taylor, Ryan, and Anthony. That would be team 2, okay? Or you guys can name yourselves if you want to give yourself a specific name.
Yeah, we're team winner.
Team A, Team B.
Okay, team A, team B. Okay, here we go.
We're team 1 and we're team A.
Everybody wins. Yay.
Everybody wins. Okay, so
it's terrible timing.
Coffee talk.
Terrible timing. No,
there we go. That's right. We'll be on Coffee Talk. Team Coffee Talk. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Before we get farther along, Sil, are you going to have Coffee Talk tomorrow?
Oh yes, every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes.
All right.
Okay, moving on.
Are you and well, because I'm getting one more thing set up. So, are you going to have any guests on for tomorrow?
I don't know if I plan any guests tomorrow. What's up?
Yeah, I'll come on. I'm on football.
Yeah,
but you always
come on
work
too.
Everybody's working at a time.
I don't work tomorrow, so I'm good.
Okay,
hey, Steve. Hold up real quick, Steve. Did you see the last show me and my wife did, Video Rewind? Pineapple pizza is still disgusting.
It's not that bad. I actually don't mind it.
I can eat it. I mean, I can't just eat it straight, you know.
At least I gave it a try after like 10 years. I was like, okay, I'll try.
Yeah, but the thing is, your
After
pizza,
10 years.
y'all had the whole show, and then you had the pizza at the end, so you know it must have been cold.
Nah, it wasn't that cold. It was still pretty crisp, and
I can't eat cold pizza. I have to eat hot pizza. I think cold pizza is disgusting.
I don't even like microwaving pizza. Put it back in the oven.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, here we go. So
Nuke it.
we're gonna start off. This is gonna be an international version of the game, because we have Jessica Blake, who's from the UK, and we have Steve, who's from Canada.
And
Anyhow,
I'm from Chirac. Real love.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, so the teams are gonna change up.
Teams aren't even, but it's
They
okay.
got real, didn't it?
Keep
They got real. Okay,
Real weird.
seriously. Okay, so here we go. So the first actor that we're gonna guess the age is none other than the American legend of Chuck Norris. Okay,
He
so
doesn't age.
he doesn't age. Team A, what is the age of Chuck
I
Norris?
have no idea.
Team Coffee Talk, first off. But
Okay, Team Coffee Talk.
say
CT.
70.
70.
Oh, we got to converse first. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. Yeah.
Guys,
Final answer?
70. Okay.
70?
70. Final answer.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay, let's see. Judges say. Okay, so that was not right. Okay, team. What do you want to call yourselves? Team B, Team 2, whatever the hell you are. What is your answer?
Team Fire.
Team Fire. Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Team Fire. Okay, Team Fire. What is your answer?
He's in his 80s. I know. He's
Is he really?
80s.
You reading the chat. You reading the chat, bro.
Go read the
No,
chat.
I'm not reading the chat. I'm not reading the chat. I got no.
Turn off
But
the comments.
he's older. He just doesn't age.
I need a number. I need a number.
Man.
Go ahead. Just guess something 80s, Ryan. Just
82?
82.
Oh, are we doing 80 or 82?
Are we doing the Price is Right rules where if we go over, we lose?
Yeah. If you go over or under, you lose.
Over
You
under?
have to, you have to nail it. Okay,
Oh,
so what's
really?
the age?
So then we would just say 71.
Yeah.
And then we destroy. Yes, let's destroy Team Coffee. Coffee.
That is
Stop.
terrible.
Okay, so what is your answer?
Well, if it's over under, we're going 71.
No, it's
No,
not.
you have to hit the
It
exact
has to
number.
be the
Oh, you have to hit the
number.
exact number?
Yes,
Okay, well, that's not those
You
rules.
played this last
Typical.
time.
I know.
Typical, Ryan.
You're always trying to bend the rules.
Typical.
I'm just trying to win. Then I say 82. 82.
There we go. 82. We'll go 82.
Sure.
82. Okay,
Yeah.
judges say. Sorry, guys. You were close, though. It was 80.
Oh,
Nah. I should have just listened to you from the start.
Chuck Norris is 80.
I
That's what I
didn't give
meant
you
to
a
say.
hint. I was like,
if
oh,
we had
it's
said
80 or
71,
82.
we would have won. So
Yeah.
We meant to say Eddie. Yeah, we meant to say that.
I tried to give
Chuck
you the
Norris
hint.
could probably still kick the lid off this bottle. Like he probably could. Chuck is 13. What's
76.
I mean, my answer in the beginning was right anyway. Chuck does not age. Chuck Norris doesn't age.
Steve in the comments. What is that?
Oh, it's 18.
What is
the
that, bro?
comments?
I love it. I love it. Okay, here we go. Okay, the next actor on the board will be none other than a British actor for Jessica, Ewan McGregor.
Ah, Chuck Norris.
Isn't he?
Yeah, he's in
Oh,
his
man.
40s.
Yeah.
What we think?
45.
Yeah, 40. I say 45.
All right.
Yeah.
Team says 45. Final answer.
Okay, final answer 45. Okay,
That makes me nervous.
Now, he is older than that. He is older than that by
Okay.
a considerable
Team
amount.
Fire, Team Fire, this is your chance to respond. What
At
number are you
least-
gonna go with?
I watched that show, the long go around or whatever it is, the long way around.
Okay.
Show's older, but I think on the new preview for the one on AT&T or the Apple show, he said he was pushing 50 now.
So
I'd
like
say
40s.
48 or 49, right?
Okay.
No, he's definitely in his 50s.
Oh,
I don't think
So I would say
I-
like
I-
50, 51, something like that.
I'd
say
Okay.
50. So
Taylor, you were saying?
I saw in the preview he said that he's going to be 50 soon. So my guess is 49.
Okay, 49. Okay, 49. Let's see.
Well, yeah, we'll go with.
The clip does something amazing.
Yeah, 49 was the number. You guys keep getting them wrong. I was like, ah. Okay. So Team Fire is up 1-0. Here is the next actor we're gonna be guessing. It is none other than the man himself, Liam Neeson.
That's gonna be rough.
That's gonna be a tough one. He played Qui-Gon. He played a lot of different roles. But how old is he?
He also played.
Okay, Team Coffee. Team Coffee, this is for you. How old is Liam Neeson?
What does the other team think? What do y'all think? Give us some ideas.
6.
Give us the right answer.
6.
Well, if he's Qui-Gon, he's probably about 213.
Does he age like Yoda? So then he's like 900.
So I kind of got to say he sends us this old.
Hey, we got Laura Koj in the chat.
Laura Koj, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Koj?
I don't know. What we thinking, Steve, Jessica?
I would say he's pretty old.
Now, is that the answer? Final answer.
Maybe
pretty
like
old.
60s.
What, 71?
No, not 70.
Okay.
Maybe at least late 60s, I'd say.
Late 60s?
Maybe I think early 60s could be.
I can agree with late 60s.
64? Y'all think 64?
I do late 60s. I think he's older than you think.
Okay. Jessica, if it's late 60s, what number do you want to go with?
I don't know. 68. I don't know.
Okay. 68.
68. You didn't give him the, you didn't give him the.
All right, so
68 was the number. Okay, so we got a few more. We got a few more to go through, and because the first team to score the third point wins the game, okay? Because otherwise we'll go on forever. Okay, so the next one is another British star, Emma Watson, who is my pick for Batgirl.
Oh, she's definitely
Okay, so Team Fire, this one's to you. How old is Hermione?
23.
No.
What was she like 4 when she was in Harry Potter?
It's
33 or 34.
Do you want to go with
take Ryan?
all right, guys, what do you think? Taylor's saying 32 or 34.
Horrible pick for Batgirl, though.
What'd you say again, Taylor?
33 or 34.
Yeah, that I would say 30. Oh man, she's
close to my age.
Early 30s. Yeah, early 30s though. Hey, look, by the time the Harry Potter films finished, like all of those kids were older. So
yeah,
I would say 20s. So,
let's say
48. Yeah, that sounds about right.
34?
She wasn't. This is the end. So
she didn't graduate.
Didn't she graduate from Hogwarts? Leviosa,
not Leviosa.
Okay, you guys, what's it gonna be?
early 30s.
Let's go 33. We'll go 30.
I'd say 31.
That was our turn, right? Okay.
No, it's our turn.
What? No, it's our turn.
Wait, no, it's Team Fire.
Team
Fire.
Yeah.
Team
40.
Yeah.
40.
No.
80s.
Good lord.
All right, quick, you guys, a number. I need one. You got
low 30s.
30?
Is there a time limit? Like, my God.
I'm about to go in and play.
Let's just do 33. We'll do 33.
33?
33. All right.
Okay, Team Coffee, go.
31.
No.
I'd say.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
What?
Yeah.
We go with that, Steve? 31? 31. 31.
I agree.
He didn't even play the other clip.
No, wrong. 30, damn it, 30.
30?
She's 30?
We're
Wow.
Okay. Now the next actor we're gonna do is from
people.
Canada. He's a Canadian actor, just for Steve. none other than
Jim
the
Carrey.
most controversial of them all, Ryan Reynolds.
Hey, Green
Oh
Lantern.
God, like 90.
Star of
some-
Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah, he is
Exactly,
Green
right here.
Lantern. Yeah,
He's the Green Lantern. Hal Jordan.
Okay, so Team Coffee, how old is Ryan Reynolds?
How old?
Hal Jordan.
How old? Yeah, how old is Hal Jordan?
How old is Hawkman? Hal Jordan?
Old Hawkman, Hal Jordan.
2000.
Deadpool.
Eternity. Let's see.
He's
Ryan
in the
Reynolds.
40s.
Great.
Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, that's his name.
We're thinking 48.
Yeah, I think
40.
so.
Why are you putting the comments up, Nickatina? What are you doing?
Hey, you're gonna read them anyway, aren't you?
Oh, I know,
No,
right?
I turned it off.
All
I
right.
thought we were not.
I put
Okay,
mine,
yeah.
What the
Okay.
hell? You put
So
a
I'll
private
keep-
chat.
I'll keep it
I
up.
put mine
I'll
on
keep it
private
up.
chat. Yeah.
Okay, so what number are you gonna go with?
I guess 48. Let's do it.
Yeah, 48.
48. Okay. Okay, next team. What is it? Go.
Okay. I actually know this one because my wife and I were talking about this the other day.
Hold on.
because-
Before you say it, let us say it because we're wrong. You're right. We're gonna go with your answer. But
Okay.
what do you think?
me?
Do not go with our answer. We're just trying. I say 51.
Play the
Anthony,
clip.
what do you say?
Play the clip.
Oh!
Play the clip. Play the clip.
I say
Don't you-
49.
You say 49. Okay, go ahead, Taylor.
Okay, so my wife is like a super girly girl, and she was rewatching Gossip Girl recently, and she was like, "How old is Blake Lively?" So she Googled it, and she's like, "How old is Ryan Reynolds?" He's 43.
Okay,
This is a
43.
setup.
43
Damn.
is the answer.
Three?
Okay, so Team Fire is up 2-1. Let's round this
The total
out
setup.
with. It's a total
That's
setup.
a good age for a fighter pilot, right?
Okay,
I
so
think
the
we're about
next
at
the next actor
He is
that we're gonna
aged.
do is none other than another international star,
Oh, he'll be 44 next month.
Angela Lansbury.
Oh, goddess.
Oh.
She's a goddess. You know.
Yes.
Let them go first.
43.
43.
All right, run the clip. Run the clip. Run the clip.
That's y'all's. It's your turn.
Yeah, Team Coffee.
That would have been your answer.
I know.
Oh, your answer's run the clip? That's not
Yeah.
even the age. I
That was our team. That was our team.
Okay, Team Coffee. How old is Angela Lansbury?
She's
Murder
ageless.
She Wrote.
Yeah. She's in her
Bed
80s.
knobs and broomsticks.
Exactly. Bed knobs and broomsticks. My man. Great pick, Ryan. Yes. Bun this to the entire
El Cappy.
game, man. That's the
Something
one.
like what,
Disney
84?
Plus that shit.
Yeah, that's right.
Something like 84, 85.
Hey, I see what? Yo, what the fuck?
Okay, look. I'll tell you what, Sil. This is a hard one, so I'll tell you this. Go higher.
Okay, 91. What y'all think? 91?
I have no idea.
Roll it.
I thought you would know this, Jessica.
He said it. That's his answer.
Dude,
Roll
Why
the
would
clip.
Jessica know this?
Because she's British.
That's his answer.
Exactly.
taking it every age.
What he
every
said.
fact.
What that dude said right
You know,
there.
every age.
You're
of
trying to
every-
like geographically like pin her, like hey, she's British, so you
I
should know it.
feel-
Damn,
I haven't
damn,
memorized.
Nickatina.
So you gonna go with 91? Is that what you're gonna do?
Let's
Guys?
roll with 91.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay,
He's trying so hard.
here we go. Team Fire. Let's see it.
Wait, is she alive? First of
If
all?
she's alive, yes.
She's alive. Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's what
As
threw
far
me
as I
off.
know, she's alive.
I feel like she was like in her 70s when I was born. So I don't know.
No, yo, that's probably pretty accurate, but yeah.
Okay.
94.
Okay, 94. Final answer. Here we go.
That's a
Judges.
Wait. Is it saying what do y'all?
Yay! And that concludes the end for today. Team Fire wins 3-1.
Drink it
Won
all.
by a landslide. Originally, it was gonna be the first 5, but it was so hard to get answers. I figured let's just make it to 3. You guys did a great job. Thank you so much for playing this game. I thought I had a lot of fun.
The Snyder
Cut.
Oh.
Hey. Oh, hey, I don't know if y'all seen it yet, but Patrick Stewart and shit, Mark Hamill have a fire like a Grubhub commercial. I don't know if y'all.
Oh
seen
yeah,
it
I
yet.
saw that. I saw that.
It is fire. It's perfect. Yeah.
I don't have the clip, so I can't play it. So Anthony, thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
He said you. He set you up.
Salacious.
That was a perfect setup.
Set me up, man.
Like
Set
an
me up.
alley-oop, but you fell flat on your face.
Instead, he's salacious.
Wow.
It's salacious. All right, you guys, thank you so much for coming on here.
Well, we didn't talk about Justice League Dark.
Yes.
Oh, that is very
Yeah,
true.
let's go.
Okay,
You gotta go to sleep or something, Nick? Or
well, at 8:30, I have to be at a meeting on Zoom, so that is one.
it's kind of important, right?
It is very important, and I will go as long as the show needs to go to get to the truth, because that is what I'm all about here on the Nickatina Show, is getting to the truth. So let's go right to it, Taylor.
The truth is you about to be in trouble. That's the truth. You about to get in trouble.
Spotlight.
I go right to him. So what's the latest on Justice League Dark?
The latest, I talked to one of my sources on Thursday of last week. They confirmed the entire core cast has been cast. Everyone is already locked in, so it's just a matter of time before they just unveil everybody. And if you believe my buddy Josh over at DCU News, he said Charlie Cox is actually front runner for Constantine, or was last time he asked.
Wow.
Wow.
That's interesting.
On HBO Max, right?
That's
yeah.
That's
okay. So
that's
they probably released that at the HBO Max Dome. Or
hold on, Ryan.
Yeah,
I had to mute you because Sil was trying to talk. Go ahead.
No. That's interesting with the Charlie Cox, because I was hearing because of that whole time period of the Netflix contracts. I know you heard this too, Taylor. As far as since those MCU contracts ran out, that they're trying to reach. Well, also they're trying to reach back out to Charlie Cox, but I mean,
I was told a while back, and if you can actually ask Geek Burrito on this one, because he was the one who actually talked to the person at the convention. That they had already commissioned artwork for an entire new cast of the Defenders. So they were recasting everybody, and they'd planned on that from the start. So that was part of why they canceled everything, so they could reboot the entire Defenders in Disney+. Plus. So it's probably the biggest missed opportunity of the universe, because honestly, Iron Fist was better than Captain Marvel, and that says a lot.
Season 2, definitely.
Oh, season 2 was fantastic.
Yeah, the action.
Because they sidelined them.
Yeah, they really did.
Well, I mean, they had better writing. So
they did. It was better.
They rushed out the gate. They actually took some time to develop the characters better.
Yeah.
So Gosling has a very good question, Taylor. Is Batfleck? Can we expect to see him in Justice League Dark?
So,
go ahead.
I heard some chatter a while back that JJ was very keen on including the Justice League Dark as part of the HBO Max Snyderverse, and with the rumors that Anna is the front runner for Zatanna, it would kind of make a nice poetic justice if Ben crossed over, and they had that we dated once kind of a quip back and forth.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of fantastic, honestly.
Yeah, that would.
But,
so good.
I was told a while back that they were looking at the options for connecting them together, and if Ben wanted to, he had an open door to do it. So
they tried that with Green Lantern, and look how that turned out. No, they fell in love on that script on that set, right? That's where they met.
Yeah.
And so
that would officially make
Jessica, go ahead, Jessica.
That would officially make it part of the DCU and part of the Snyderverse and all of that stuff. And it's not separate. It's
it'd be far more connected than the Defenders were to the MCU.
Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna happen.
Oh yeah, like there was no connection there. I mean, they softly touched on the fact that the Avengers happened, like the first Avengers.
The incident.
The incident, yeah, but I don't know. I mean, it sucks that they had to separate it that hard.
Well, that's why the Flash movie is gonna be cool because they're gonna show that connection in some way. So that's gonna be cool.
I would love it. Yeah, I would just like be watching it, just Constantine being Constantine, and then just Batman showing up, and I would just I would fangirl really hard.
Now, have you heard any rumors of Henry Cavill meeting up with Pattinson in a World's Finest movie?
No, Pattinson's universe is an island. It's 100% on its own.
Yeah, it's separate.
Where is this movie talk coming from, Brian?
Matt Reeves was given
a show called Coffee Talk.
Who said it was a movie? That means you have to watch the show. That means you got to watch the show.
Okay, so interesting. Is it a play? Are they doing a play or Shadow Puppet?
Gotta get that plug.
Hey, Batman, what are you doing today?
The point is that the point is the execs, and I think Taylor can understand this, that they are in a situation where Batfleck. You want to talk or what? Okay, they're in a situation where Affleck, they don't really know which projects he's going to choose to be in. I mean, after the HBO Max series movie, of course, the Flash movie, most likely the Justice League 2 sequel. After that, is Ben Affleck still going to be Batman? So you do.
Ben Affleck's Batman's still going to be alive.
That's the point. That's the point.
Don't
so after
say
that,
don't
if
say
it's a multiverse and all that, he can just wear a different role.
Say that name.
Say, hey, look, I'm a
he's
different
gotta be
incarnation of the same
alive.
guy.
so after that, you do have to. You need a Batman. I mean, is that too absurd to say that you need a Batman after Batfleck's done? So the execs, it is true that they have at least thought of the idea of exploring that possibility. Does not mean that's going to happen with Pattinson, but they're going to come up with something.
I was actually told that Pattinson's universe has its own Superman, and if they want to cross over, they'll give him a different Superman. So
And that would be great.
Wow.
Yeah, it'd be Tyler Hoechlin.
No, you guys, hold on a second. That's some major freaking news right there. That there
They
could be
should
a
have
separate
multiple
Superman
Superman.
in his own universe. Ryan, shut
Should have
up. A
multiple-
separate.
They should do that. They really should do that. Yeah.
That would be awesome. My God.
I personally love it. What was that? What's that young kid that everyone is fan casting as Superman? The one that was in that one Netflix show recently. What was his name?
Dawson Weidrich.
The guy who literally looked like a younger Cavill. Who's
the
like
Riddler.
55. What's the guy's name?
Oh yeah, no, I know who you're talking about. I've seen his picture, but I don't know who he is.
It said don't
Yeah,
put that.
I'll find it. It'll be at the moment.
Batman's the Superman will be Channing Tatum. Lord Kojak, come on.
No, actually, I heard.
Channing Tatum's a good actor, yo.
So a long time ago, back when Jeff Johns was in control of the DCEU, they had toyed around the idea of having Channing Tatum play Captain Cold in a Flash movie, and they were talking about
Really?
Captain Cold,
That would have been
like
dope.
the IT
Yeah.
hands. So I was on board then. I'm okay with Channing Tatum being an E-villain. Like he would be fantastic.
Millie Bobby Brown. What are you talking about, Geek?
Bobby Brown.
Millie Bobby
No, he
Brown?
said Millie Bobby Brown. So
Bobby
for who?
Brown?
For Bobby Brown, a Bobby Brown biopic.
It's my prerogative.
Yeah, don't be cruel.
Corn Sweet. Is that his name?
Actually, you know what? Lord Kojak's got a point. That's not it. Here it is. Channing Tatum voiced Superman in the Lego movie.
Ooh.
So that means he's a shoe-in for
That means nothing.
That also means Jonah Hill's gonna be Green Lantern then.
Exactly.
Okay, here we go.
Shout out to Coach.
Well, it does lend credence to Jay. What was his name? Jack Black coming in as a
As Green Lantern. There you go. Go
I
back
love
to
that
Jack
I
Black
was
idea.
legitimately mad they didn't go forward with that pitch because that was such a funny concept. Like, does everyone know that concept? Like that script they pitched? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like 10, 15 years ago. They had this pitch that basically Jack Black was going to find a broken Green Lantern ring and it was going to just inadvertently choose him because it was broken. And the movie's going to be Jack Black as Green Lantern. and like it was going to be just this comedy, and it was absolutely ridiculous pitch. And I think they made a cartoon that was very similar with Daffy Duck becoming a Green Lantern. Like they kind of tested the idea around the same time, and they were like, "Nope, it's not going to work." They just like swept it under the rug.
So I have an
It's
offshoot
supposed to
thing.
be like all satire and everything, like self-referential. It's supposed to make fun of the whole genre and all this other shit, right?
Yeah, it was 100% satire. It was
And
like
like
21 Jump Street, but with superheroes.
And one gag, the race car thing, actually made it to the Riot movie, right? Or something like that.
The Hot Wheels thing, yeah.
Yeah, the Hot Wheels shit, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nick, what was that comment that Cisco said?
Cisco.
In the
What?
chat.
Let me see. Hold on.
Steve.
Like he calling still?
Like when the beat go.
He did just tell me that he did just say he debunked the Lucas cut talk. So somebody tell Doomcock when you get a chance.
Oh man, we knew that.
Yeah,
shit was
hey,
fake,
well, guess what?
since-
I could have
right
debunked
when it
that
left
one.
his lips. I don't need somebody to tell me that.
People
I
still
already knew
believe that. People still believe
do.
that.
The
I
only
don't know why.
cut that Lucas ever had is the episode 3 cut that they shaved down. That's the only thing
cut,
you could ever
the
get.
only cut he ever had
That's
was a cut when he was shaving. That was about it.
I gave Disney a treatment.
Dude, people still believe a Lucas cut talk. I'm not a big Star Wars guy, so it doesn't matter to me.
Okay. Everyone in the chat, one last question for Taylor, and then we got to go. So let's see. One last question. Oh, here we go. Ifea, has anyone seen a superhero? And this is not even a question for him.
I actually have not seen it. I know what you're talking about, but I was never a big fan of those parody movies, so I didn't watch like half of them.
Oh man, tell me you saw
he
Blank
already
Man
answered
at
this
least.
one. He says Taylor said that it does exist per se, but will we see it? I don't know.
That's up to HBO at this point if they want to release it. I could see them doing it for like the 10th anniversary or something. That'd be kind of cool.
Awesome.
That'd be awesome.
dope.
It's a few years away.
Since someone's asking good questions, Kojay's got the final question of the day. How come the Ewok movies ain't on Blu-ray yet?
Exactly. Why isn't Droids on Blu-ray and shit like
Oh
that?
my god! I grew up with those
actually,
movies.
I got them on DVD.
This will be the last question because Gosling has asked this question multiple times already. Is Batfleck and Superman and the entire Justice League appearing in Shazam 3? That's a lot.
Can we get part 2 first?
I know.
But go ahead, Taylor.
Part 2.
I honestly thought it was just going to be Superman. I was only told that they were after Superman for that one, but I was told that The Rock had to get special permission, and they gave him permission to call out the entire Justice League in the DC fandom video. So he's hinting at it. I think he would
But
love to do that.
He also called out Batfleck.
He did. He
He said
everyone-
Batman. He said Batman.
Batman.
All right, get still out of here because you know he's talking about Batfleck.
He said Batman, but I mean there is
Batfleck is the Batman of that universe. They made that very clear with the first Shazam.
that
That's
is
their
going to
Batman.
be there is
Bye,
going to
Phil.
supposedly be a future. Okay, I mean, okay, there is going to be a future supposed collision of the Justice League and JSA. So maybe that's when Black Adam mixed the entire JL, but we'll see in the future.
The timing.
What was that?
You're in the laboratory.
I don't know what that was.
You're in the
Okay.
laboratory, Phil.
And because he's such a good viewer and a fan of the show, Andrew, that's Geek Burrito. Whoops.
Andrew, read this other guy's.
Andrew, read it. And how will Keaton be used in the Flash movie? Will he meet Affleck? And this is a question he was asking me last night, and obviously I did not have a good answer for him because now he's asking it again. Anything?
As far as I'm told, that Affleck and Keaton are not going to meet face to face in this one. Keaton is going to be basically in retirement and then brought out of retirement because of something that happens involving the Flash. But he's going to be very prominent in the movie. I'm told that he's going to suit up at least for a good chunk of it. I think the concept art even confirmed they're going to have him in the suit. So we're going to have a 70-year-old Batman rocking that rubber suit. So I'm ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to fight some people, and it's going to be dope. But what I can say, the most recent tidbit I got was the current rewrite is because of the Act 1 being retooled because of Ben. He had some notes he wanted to change for the first act of the movie. And specifically, I was just told the other day, I was talking to a buddy of mine, he just told me that Ben was given clearance to pick which suit he's going to wear in the movie because he didn't want the tactical suit because it was too uncomfortable. So he's going to go back and pick one of the earlier suits that he wore because it was more comfortable.
BVS.
Look at Jessica's face. She was like, "Hey, let's hope it's the BVS suit because we can all agree that was the best suit that was out there."
I have a little bias on this one. My favorite suit out of all of them was probably the Suicide Squad variant because it had the better cowl, but the same suit from BVS.
Oh, okay.
So I liked the cowl in Suicide Squad because it was like the Justice League cowl, so it had like better detail on the eyes, but it still was all scarred up. Like they tweaked it a little bit because that was the mask they made for him for Justice League, but they let him use the BVS suit.
Well, and lastly, that would make sense, right? Because that's after the redemption in BVS.
Yeah.
So.
And it's a mix of the two, so it's like an evolution.
And I think people didn't catch on that the suit he wore in Justice League was the tactical suit. Like those little plates all over his chest were actually where the suit hooked onto. Like that was the suit. He wore the tactical suit the whole movie. He just put the armor on over it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then also too, that would make more sense. Yeah, exactly about why those plates were there to begin with.
They're clips.
That's
what they were.
Like little magnets. And then lastly, the Batfleck series. I pray every day that I'm going to see this. I really hope that it happens. Taylor, I mean, do you think percentage-wise, or do you think it's a great shot that we're going to see a solo outing for Ben Affleck's Batman, maybe a series or a movie?
So when I was first told about the project, I was told that they made the offer to him. So our article about it like 6 months ago was that the offer was made, and I've heard since then that the offer was made and he was looking at the idea of dipping his feet in the water, and that's when the Flash stuff came about. Was that if the Flash stuff is well received, it's without a doubt he's going to do it. That's kind of how he phrased it then. But he signed the contract for Flash, so he's pretty confident that it's going to work. But I think the big deciding factor for him was how they presented the deal. Basically carte blanche. Like you have your pick of directors, you have your pick of writers, you have your complete direction of the story. Zach is going to be your EP. He's going to be there. It's all you guys. If you want this, it's yours. It's all you. So that kind of freedom is what he was missing from Warner Brothers. So I think he loves the character of Batman. I mean, I think I remember reading that he only did Daredevil because of his respect for Frank Miller's Batman. So like Batman was his superhero. So being told that you could be Batman again and have carte blanche, I think the percentage-wise, it's a lot higher than what some people are saying. I think it's in the 70 to 80 range that he's either said yes or he's already. Like I'm pretty sure he's already doing it.
He's supposed to direct it, right? Ain't he supposed to direct it possibly?
He was told he could direct it or pick a director.
That's what I was told.
So he doesn't want to do it.
So how did they end up on Christina as the writer? Because he does have, he didn't like the story. He wanted tweaks, but how did they end up on her? Because she's so she wet behind the ears. Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
No. It wasn't a good story.
The stuff that he asked to be added wasn't so much.
Steve. There you go.
Are they going to have another diamond? But this time it's they got to make the Flash take a poop.
Bad take, Ryan. Bad take.
Just wasn't a good story.
All I have
is take, Ryan.
They need a better story. She just didn't
take,
have
Ryan.
it.
That's all I got for you.
So you liked it, Nickatina?
What?
That was a great story.
I liked Birds of Prey. I'll say it.
All right.
Okay. Great, no, but I mean, it had some elements that I liked.
I don't know. I think on a big project, especially something like this, they need a better writer. They need a well-established writer.
I will say this: after talking to Jessica about Birds of Prey, when I watched it again, I definitely had a different kind of understanding for it, and it's not as bad. Actually, I mean, there are things I don't like about it, but it's not as bad as I first thought it was. And that's
I've watched it a couple times, but I still have the same opinion.
My only gripe with the whole movie is the end, but then I realized that the whole movie is kind of being told from Harley Quinn's perspective, so she exaggerates. So I'm pretty sure any of those characters can pop back up, and she's like, "Oh man, you were dead," and he's like, "How? When did I die?" Like,
So yeah, Ewan McGregor comes back. You mean I wasn't exploded?
Yeah, he could just be like, "You didn't do anything. You just pushed me off a bridge."
Yeah.
So realistically, they can do anything they want because Harley is crazy, and they've established she's crazy.
Well, yeah, and that's what Jessica and I were talking about. Was it like a week ago or somewhat?
Yeah, the film shows it because obviously we see like the flames, they're like fireworks, and then when Renee Montoya sees it, it's like actual flames.
Fire. Yeah.
So it's like the fucked up mind. She's like,
exactly.
Mind.
So
she gets superpowers from cocaine, right? So
yeah, exactly.
She gets her powers from cocaine.
Yeah, so do most of us too.
Yeah, like normal people. I mean,
exactly.
All right, you guys. Hey, thank you so much for being here. Let's go around the horn really quick, and then we'll end the show. Jessica, where can they find you?
So I'm Jessica Blake 98 on Twitter and Jessica Blake 37 on Instagram.
The numbers.
The number.
Yeah, it was a random number, and yeah, my YouTube is coming. It's in the works. So that's coming soon.
All right, Steve, where can they find you?
On Coffee Talk with Sil.
Yeah.
Most likely, both of them.
Great production.
Or on your monitor or theater screen, you might see me.
That's it. That's all you got.
But that's the truth.
I thought that was
Raptors
cool.
suck. Oh, we're Warriors. There you go.
Wow. I guess that's a bad take, Nickatina.
Because Durant was hurt. That's
Yo, you had that ready, Nickatina?
He just typed it in.
I've had this ready for quite a while. When I knew Steve was coming on,
that's even sadder.
I was ready.
Man.
I'm ready.
Bad shot, Nickatina. Bad shot.
Whatever. All right, still, where can they find you?
Coffee Talk, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll probably see Steve. You'll probably see Jessica.
No,
yeah, and capitalize that ink. Yeah, just it looks better.
Okay, I will. If that's not nice. Don't do that to my name.
Nickatina.
Hey, tuna's good for you, man.
Hey, I'm a big fan of tuna sandwiches, so I mean,
yo, tuna.
Obviously,
what amount of protein you get with tuna?
Yeah, I will say that. Okay, let's go over. Anthony, where can they find you?
The fire.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah,
Look, you can find the fire. As a matter of fact, let me see it in the chat. Anyway, you can find the fire anywhere on social media at 2279ACS. I'm about to steal your girl, Seal. I've been in touch with Jessica. She's gonna come on the show, so
yeah.
But yeah,
Coffee Talk is home.
Homely. Yeah.
It's a broken home.
It's a broken.
There it is in the chat. The fire emoji. But yeah, you can find me on anywhere. You can go on YouTube, search for.
I got it first, right? I'm the first one that around the whole big universe.
Hey, Steven Taylor, shouts out to you guys too. I'm gonna have you guys on the show soon.
Can't wait to see the show.
As soon as you guys, if you're available, y'all can come on and yeah. That's
hey man, I'm always ready for Bloodshot. You know.
Yeah.
Bloodshot.
Also, go support ACS's new movie Bloodshot out right now in Walmart. Go buy that. That's a good movie. Fire movie. Also, Fast and the Furious is coming out. Support my man. We need a new. Riddick.
Oh, did you see it on Instagram?
We need a new Riddick, yo.
Yeah, dude,
the new Riddick.
The new Riddick. I thought you were Dave Bautista.
I thought he was Groot.
Dude, find me on Instagram, and there's some face swaps on there that are ridiculous. I'll just tell you that.
What did Ifye say, Nickatina? You can find me in the fire.
Yeah, you can also find me in the fire. Yeah.
Okay, Taylor, where can they find you? And we already know where they can find you, but just go ahead and say it anyway.
I mean, on Twitter, on Vero, even we actually have a Vero. It's actually culturenerd.org. The .com was taken.
Oh,
from us
yeah.
That's a fun
You're
story.
sending them to the wrong place there, buddy.
I know.
Culturenerd.com. What is this?
So
This is like
I'm
Bang
still
Bros.
mad about that. Let me
Yeah.
get that guy's resume still on it.
There we go.
Cool.
Why does it want my credit card information?
Okay, no. So the guy's literally holding it hostage, telling us to pay him like $2,000 for it, and I told him to shove it. So I'm just gonna bleed him out. I'll play the long game. I don't even care. But no,
You're all giving them fake scoops.
yeah, culturenerd.org, at the Culture Nerd on Vero, Twitter, and Instagram. I personally run the Instagram. The DMs on Twitter are also me. I think none of the editors want to go into the DM, so it's all me. If you get a response, it's from me probably. But that's where I'm at. So you guys pop in, say hi, give a follow. Cool. We're just gonna keep doing what we're doing because we love the nerddom. So
Dumb.
And last, all the way in the basement, Ryan.
I'm holding you guys up.
Where can they find you, Ryan?
You can find me on my YouTube channel. But I guess I'm gonna help transition Sil Abdul out. Because you can find me on the Four Nerds on Thursday at 7:30 Eastern. But also on my channel, Zebra Fett, we're going to be reviewing the movie Tenet this week. We did a review and we forgot to turn the sound on, so we had to do it again. So
Sounds about right.
it was so funny. But
The whole time you guys are like,
yeah. We're ready to edit. We're like, where the hell's the sound? We didn't turn the mic on.
That's
So,
terrible.
so we had to do it again. And then
it was an hour-long recording.
well, we shot it in reverse. So
it's
it's a little bit different. So it's pretty fun. But yeah, that should be released sometime this week. And and then I'm probably going to do a deep thoughts tomorrow at some point if I can get off work early enough. And then I'm going to be jumping on ACS's stream tomorrow with my good buddy Sean O'Connell, who helped us break the Green Lantern news, unbeknownst to him.
Sorry, Sam.
What?
That was like the biggest when they pointed that out. When Taylor and Matt pointed that out, when he said that, when he said, "Sorry, Sam," I was like, "Oh,
yeah."
And now he tries to play it off like it didn't happen.
Yeah. He goes, "I was just joking, guys." Again, that's what most people say when they screw up. They go, "Hey, I was just joking." Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It was a joke.
No shit.
Bullshit.
Yeah, that's what that is. Sean and Sean O'Connell will be on the Nickatina show on October 10th. He'll be here. It's a Sunday. And I'll be joined by none other than this lovely man right here.
Hey, yo, fire! There you go. But,
he already gave you the fire, Nickatina. Okay, good.
Open my cover!
Okay, and with that,
put him out.
Fire.
One of the first.
His
one of
wife
my
was gonna
first
run
ever
in one day with like one of those blankets, just like throw it over him to cover the fire.
I'd be like James Brown, where they put the blanket over him. And he's like, no, I'm not done yet. And for Taylor,
he's gonna yell at the wrong place. He's gonna be like in a when he does his streams, he's away from the house and he's like in a hotel room and he's like fire, and everybody's like, oh my god, we gotta go. Like pulling the alarm. All of his electronics.
I had to keep it low that one weekend, man. I didn't want to scare anybody, but yeah, the rooms were kind of thin. So if I would have been in there like, yo, this is fucking fire! That's it. The place would have went dead.
They would have called. They would have called downstairs. I'm sorry, you got a pyromaniac in the next room.
Something's going on. You keep screaming the word fire
repeatedly.
I think he's in danger. Oh my goodness. And so I had something else I was going to play and I lost it. Now I'm thinking about fire too much.
More Total Recall.
Yeah, it is. And you know what, Taylor, for everybody that has given you negative feedback, that has talked so much shit, This is all for them.
Come on, don't bullshit me. Bullshit. 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 Bullshit.
So that's what it is, Taylor. It's a bunch of bullshit, what you're getting. Thank you so much for doing what you do. You're the best, and thank you for being here. I really appreciate you coming on here tonight. Thank you to ACS, to Zeverfet, Sil Abdul. You're always welcome here. He's been here since day one, you guys.
Once every quarter, I'll be here.
Once every quarter, but truthfully, Sil Abdul. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to Sil's channel. It's great. Follow Jessica Blake on Twitter. That sounds weird when I say that. Follow her, and you can also follow Steve if you want as well. It's all in my head. It's all in my head.
Retrograde with the flames in the Abby for his Twitter. Abby's got some flames on it.
Yeah.
You blew my cover.
And with that, I'll say
one of my first gigs I ever did was the remake of Total Recall. They were shooting in Toronto. I still haven't seen that fucking movie. So.
I actually enjoyed that.
Is it good? Is it a good movie?
Did you
I
play?
don't know. I have the movie. I've never unwrapped it. It's still in it. It's still in its original covering.
It's not like the 80s movie.
It was given to me as a
It's
present.
pretty different.
Ryan.
It's very different.
Yeah.
I remember turning to Colin. It's like, yo, it's like, what are you doing? And Colin's like, I'm just getting paid, man. It was pretty much.
Like what Roger said, the director's cut of the remake is actually pretty good. I didn't like the theatrical cut. Director's cut's worth watching.
Well, cool. Okay. It's a reboot that didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, but it's kind of self-contained. I mean, the ending is pretty definite, so you couldn't really go anywhere else. So it was
bullshit.
I like the format.
And yes, Gosling, I agree. Screw the haters, Taylor. You keep doing what you're doing, man.
He's good friends with Jason, so don't mess with him.
They don't even know what kind of hell I can unleash on them.
I know.
Exactly.
And you guys, everyone in the chat, take a moment, give some love to Taylor, drop some fire emojis, whatever you want to do. Taylor, thank you so much for being here, man. I really, really appreciate you coming on here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Anytime you want, I'll come back.
Right on. And with that, you guys, I will see you next time. I'll be back on this Sunday with the Nerd Queens, and that will be another show that will have, what is it, Anthony?
Fire.